I'm gonna start the recording and I present to you the tentative budget that Laura Shawley is going to discuss.
Indeed.
And Joel.
Yeah, we worked on this at some length and have something I'm happy to transmit. Did everybody get a chance to read the highlights as capped by as?
So is this the same as what you?
It's the same, it's the exact same thing
Okay.
as what I gave you guys.
Except,
This wasn't part of it, right? It's page,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
remember this page.
Yes.
Okay, then I didn't print that off.
but.
Just my little way of putting things down so that people can take a read.
Okay, this is the only thing that's different.
Well, there is one other change. Laura told me.
But I didn't get
Yeah.
it when we got it last.
Oh, but the ones that I sent out to everybody were our changes that you and I went through.
Yes, but didn't you make the accommodation for training?
That's already in there. It's in here.
This is what we got already. And
Yep, everything that you
I
have
didn't
right
do-
there is exactly what I sent you electronically.
Right,
Okay, I just made copies so people had them in front of them if they
yeah,
weren't able to print it out or whatever it was. So
That was
these
my-
these budget highlights were just kind of my style. I go through every year and we put it together and Joel and just, Joel puts it together and we come up with these things and then just something to just sort of pinpoint what's going on. Do you want me to talk about it, Joel? You
Yeah.
want to talk about it?
Well, look, why don't we do it together?
Okay.
So you can, why don't you take the lead and I'll just chime in that those.
This
This is
budget, just to talk about this budget, and one of a couple of the things that I try to do right off the bat, we try to do right off the bat is take a look at a couple of things that make it a difference, really, in what you're trying to, when you're trying to make, decisions on which way you want to go, okay? One of the things is I would just wanted to point out is a fund balance analysis. These are at the beginning, these are just some little schedules, the fund balance analysis, just to give you an idea before you even start with the budget, where we ended up with last year,
At the third page.
how things ended, it looks like this, but yours is like this. It's a one-page thing and it does a fund balance. It's right at the beginning. It's right at the beginning of your packet here.
3 pages.
No, that's a tax levy analysis. This is a budget summary. Oh, because you got your own copies.
I get my own copies.
Okay, this is the copies that
Is it the one that says assessments?
it says fund balance on now.
I've got one you're gonna look at, it says
Right.
assessment,
Page.
and the other one was 2 pages and it said fund balance analysis.
Unfortunately, there's no pagination. It'd be kind of
Well,
like-
no, somebody page,
I did.
Yeah.
The ones that I just did, I just put some numbers at the top of them.
so what page is?
There's no page number on
There's
this
no
one.
page.
This is
I
just
I
the-
added some page numbers,
Well, the print.
but you guys just keep going.
Yeah, yeah.
What,
You're just going
okay,
by the-
in the
I'm
packet
fine.
I just gave
I'm not
you,
worried about it. I'm just trying to catch up with you.
it says
It's
fund
about the
balance
third
analysis.
page in.
Not that one.
I've already looked at the third page.
Well, back
so
up.
I
No,
don't-
wait a minute.
Mine was the fifth.
I see the page you're looking for right now, Catherine. If you flip over that one that you got in your hand right now, no, the top
This
one,
one, yeah.
no, the other, this
No,
hand,
no.
the left hand, flip that
You have two
over.
in there, yeah.
Yeah, that one right there.
Oh, what you were holding up only had something like a top.
Oh, yeah, that's it, that's the
something different.
assessment, but we also have a fund.
He
balance.
changed.
Yeah, I was looking at the one you had.
Here you guys ask, hey, where were we with the fund balance? What are some of the things, what are some of the trends that we had? What are we really looking at? And if you look at the general fund, you'll see in 2024, we had an increase of $214,000 in the fund balance. Okay, so we're sitting there with a fund balance of 960,000 at the end of 2024. We like to talk about that because that lets you know pretty much where we're at and what happened. And you can see from the years before what we added to the fund balance and what we took away. Like that's for the general fund. And the next one is the highway fund. And we added 101,000 last year. Why is that significant? It gives you a place in your mind to see where we were and that we were like in some big hole someplace, from doing anything. That the last few years have been very good as far as adding to the fund balance. What I like to look at is all the way back to 2013, like if I look at the general fund. Okay, we had a fund balance of $674,000. Now in 2024, it's 960. We could have had some years as you go through, like 2016, where we used 100, where we decreased by 154,000. So we started using some of it
Yeah.
and some of it in these years. And sometimes when we think about using fund balance, it feels a little awkward or scary, like, "Ooh, we really want to spend our money in the bank." But you can see where that has averaged out and how that has happened throughout the years. So that sometimes, that's where we'd like to start. It gives you kind of a base in your mind about that. The other thing too are assessments. I can tell you that last year when we went into the budget process, there was a big increase in assessments. And what did the assessments do?
14% last year.
Yeah, you're right, increase in 14% last year. And what does that do when the assessments are up? Not that we, nobody likes to have their assessment go up on their property, but
Wow, they
there's
do
new
with their house.
properties.
If they're gonna
there's new
sell their house,
properties,
they do.
And, and stuff like that.
Yep,
This year,
frustrating.
they went up very little. So that spreading of the pie, just about anything you do in this budget. Last year, we had a decrease
In rate.
we had a decrease in the rate, which ended up to be a decrease in the amount per 100,000 of assessment of
Right.
about $54. So those people whose property stayed relatively stable throughout the last few years have experienced some decreases in some of their taxes. This year with it like this, without that, just about anything you do is gonna result in an increase in taxes for someone who had like just a stable assessment per 100,000. But what the part of it is this budget that you're looking at right now, okay? This budget represented here is under the tax cap by $34,000, over $34,000, okay? The allowable increase to the levy this year is 83,453, okay?
What percentage? Didn't do that calculation.
Oh, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, Joel, what that percent, the increase in the levy is 40,580 in the general fund and 8,207 in the highway fund. There was no increase in the levy in the water fund. This leaves $34,666 if you were to pass this budget right now, that we can use as credit for next year. So that would already be kind of ahead of it. And where it is, what this would result in, this budget, if you're looking at what it's going to do to taxes, for every 100,000 in assessment.
Is that the next page?
Yep, if we look at the tax rate analysis now, the one that says tax rate.
Coming
analysis.
back, right? One of the first page.
Yeah, tax rate analysis, it looks like this.
And
Okay.
that's, it's like a second, or third page.
It would result in an increase in taxes of $5.60 per 100,000 of assessment. So if somebody's assessment stayed relatively stable and they had a $200,000 house, their taxes would go up $11.20. Okay. For what we're gonna do with our general fund
The
and
town budget.
the town budget that you're working on with the highway
Right.
and the general, and and as far as the water, they didn't have any changes in the water. They didn't increase the levy at all in the water. So if we're really looking at what you guys are working on, it's those two. So you can see what that is. And then when you put the fire district in, it's only $3.80. And then with the water district, only $3.80 increase.
Oh, that's odd.
Laura, you got the fire department increase?
Yeah, so I have
Um,
39 Gunderman is
No, I do not.
house, yeah.
The fire department went from, let me try and find that. I think they were 600,000 last year.
Yeah,
Right.
did they come over with their final budget?
Yes, let me find that.
Which is fine. We'll add that in here with for
Yeah, where did they
future,
come up with? Because
for future
Okay, remember, this is like the absolute worst thing. You're speaking so fast and I'm horrible at this, so I'm gonna ask stupid questions every once in a while, because I just can't do this.
That's not stupid. You're doing good.
Who's the they in increasing the levy? You said they increased the levy.
We're talking about the fire district right now.
The fire
No, I
district.
know, that's-
Well,
yeah.
the water department, the water district.
No, oh, they
The water
themselves did
district,
not
water
increase-
district, when they did their budget and put in a budget submission, okay?
They
They
did
did not
not.
increase the amount that they wanted for taxes.
So why is there listed an assessment?
Because there's different assessments.
That's what
There's
I'm
different
asking.
assessments in different districts. That's why. There's different assessments. And when you're talking about like, say, fire department, stuff
Wait,
like
wait.
that.
Wait, what do you mean different districts? Is
Okay,
this
if
only
you-
our water district or are there?
It's only
different-
our water district,
there are.
but there's a fire district also.
Right, but it says,
In
That's a
assessment,
little increase
With-
by $3 and
Right.
80 cents.
right, assessment with the fire district, with just the fire district, with the general
Right.
and the highway, okay, would be $3.80. There's a reason for that, because different people in different districts have, like exemptions.
Right.
They
you
have
talking
different
about
exemptions.
that's what I'm asking. So just let me ask. Are you saying different districts of where people's houses are in
Yes.
West Danby?
Yes,
Okay, that's all.
in West Danby or anywhere in
Yeah,
Danby.
all I needed. I don't, too much words and I'm like,
It's okay, it's okay.
The
so,
water district increase applies just for this people in the water district.
Right. And there isn't any.
It's gonna be
but there isn't.
in the water district, but remember last year, they went down. So because of the different assessed values that are in different districts, that's why the water district's only gonna see $3.80
But
difference.
that applies only to homes in the water district.
That's right,
Well,
that will
that's-
have that rate.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It doesn't apply to any.
Exact- Right, it
decided.
doesn't. If you're not in the water district and
This
you're
is-
not in the fire district,
Everybody.
which there are, not really, because there are some
Okay.
properties and
All right.
stuff.
Like in the
That are-
Caroline district.
Yes,
or
that are on different
Newfield or
districts.
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they take that all into account when they're figuring out,
Right.
figuring those assessments. So
And
see,
that day-
everything,
That day is Jay or that office in town? That day, or is it the fire district? Is that the day?
the assessments, the Board of
That's
Assessment
what I was asking.
will have these different properties district in different places.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
the
the
fire,
tax base is different.
Yes.
right.
yes,
But I
but
wanted
that
to-
is in
Right.
different districts.
So, but it was not the water district themselves that did it. It's the assessment of the houses in the water district that was done by the tax
Assessment,
assessor.
assessment in the, that's right,
Yes.
that's right.
Okay.
But then they also drive it by not increasing, by having no increase in the levy that they wanted. So that was, it.
That day is
The
the-
combination of these
The
things
water
together, that's
Yeah,
the water
It's too
district.
many days, meaning too many different people. is all
Okay, I'm
saying.
sorry, the water
Yeah.
district decided not to increase the levy
Right.
at all. So when they didn't increase the levy, of course, that affects it and keeps it also stable.
Right, except that the people in the water district will have an increase, but it's a separate.
Because of the other stuff, right.
Right.
Remember, this is not my forte.
Oh, good, thank you. We
If
got
anybody
that. We
asks
can
you
finish
questions,
this
then
up.
tell them to go on.
611,000.
Bottom line.
Thank you very much. Sorry. Good. So we got that
Bring a
number,
calculator, we've been finding money.
which that's okay with this. We'll figure it all
Yeah,
out
yeah.
because I'll figure it all out and put this all in here. Because what we're working with today is gonna be that $5.60 that we're dealing with the general and that highway.
So I assume SF is the fire district.
Yeah.
What's the S?
Makes sense to me.
And we didn't come up with those abbreviations. The state comes up with those
Yeah.
abbreviations. FF, SWADA, yes.
That sounds like it.
Well,
Numbers
SW
on an oil
means
can.
sewer and water.
Sewer and water, yes.
But why is A general and DA highways?
Who knows
Oh.
the answer?
Because they were the first ones we gave them to.
Yep, probably. So that's what
But
is going on.
that $11,000 doesn't move the needle much in terms of.
No, it's not gonna move the needle much as far as it's not gonna be any
That's different.
determining
Yeah.
factors for what you guys are trying to do. Like you're not, like if you were right up like, and the fire districts is not included in any part of our
Right.
tax cap.
Right.
So if we're using our tax cap, we don't use that 11,000 in our tax cap. That's their
Because they're
tax
separate
cap.
taxing districts.
That's right, that's right. So if we look at that, so with that information, here's some of the other highlights that happened in this budget. There's an increase in salaries of 3% in this budget.
Now, is that across the board, the contract?
That is
union
a-
contract
the
has
union
3%,
contract
And it's
And
across the-
across the board, except for
Except.
Joel had mentioned that in the middle of last year, the people got an increase
right.
for,
We bumped our lowest paid people.
and we
up
bumped
to
all the lowest
living
people
wage.
up to the 24.82 an hour.
Right.
So they kind of
Yeah,
got
already
that
got that.
increase,
It was like a
and that's
30%
gonna be,
increase.
and that's gonna be what's so far that we know for this year. So any of those people that got that, we didn't increase theirs, but everybody else in here is a 3% increase. Another increase in here that you would see is in health insurance.
Right.
Our health insurance rates went up by 18% this year. So those health insurance rates went up. So thinking about all those things that went up,
So
and
how many-
retirement went up just a little bit.
Yeah.
And we really look at those items. What's making it so that we don't have to go like, oh, sky high with taxes now to account for all of this stuff? Is that is the investment income that we're getting. And we're involved with the night class now, and we have some good investment income that's coming in. So when you look at the income sections, you're gonna see that that offsets it like a lot. Also, last year, I'm gonna talk about last year, what happened is we had a lot more mortgage tax that we received than we had expected. I mean, we got $124,000 check just with the last mortgage tax, and we only budgeted like $50,000, 50-some thousand dollars. So last year, that is what really helped with that, our fund balance, our amounts in the bank increasing, and things, looking good for the town, really.
When did that, those increases, how many was that just new housing or what, I mean?
Mortgage tax, I don't,
People
you
change their
understand a lot about that?
No, I
Where
didn't
they come up with
anticipate
those
the
numbers?
increase because with the housing market practically frozen, but.
Unless they refinance, if people refinance, it's usually lower, but.
Yeah, sure, but except that they hadn't been refinancing, it didn't look like it because the interest rates were rising or stable, and they were stable at a high level, so people had lower interest mortgages, and they were reluctant, why would you want to refinance,
Right.
so I expected it to be short, instead it was over, so I don't know where the money, where
Better
it
keep
happened.
safe with the
but-
bank in case they made a mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as far as what we're budgeting this
Yeah.
year, we're budgeting, what, $60,000, something like that. So we're doing that. And
Yeah.
also what's in this budget, even though the amounts were up with the investments and with that investment income, there's still a lower number in here to use for
Right, that
expected
interest rate
income in the event that
Right,
interest rates take a dip again.
right,
So it's a conservative look.
yeah.
And-
And
and
people
what's
may
in here.
fight their assessments if they're really big, but it certainly wouldn't make that much difference.
But with like the
You're saying
interest,
keeping it low
et
anyway.
cetera.
That's all.
Being pretty conservative.
So the mortgage reporting tax is used to document the loan transaction. It's separate from the mortgage interest and other annual property taxes was paid when you take out a mortgage.
Yeah,
So
so
that's
it has to be
happening.
property sales in order for there to be a mortgage,
Well, no, you can remortgage your house, you
Yeah.
can remortgage.
you know,
You don't have to.
if you refinance, so why would you refinance if interest rates are?
Well, no,
You
that's
still
not
have
the
to pay
same
a
thing.
tax to report it.
What Leslie, part of it can be that somebody wants to they want more money and they put, it's
Oh.
not because they're getting.
There's
one
kids going to
raise, they want
college,
money.
you know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna mortgage my house now because I wanted to have money to pay for, kids from college. That would be a new mortgage.
Gotta look into it more.
Yeah, we
I'll-
asked
I'll
Jay,
figure
how
it out.
come?
Yeah.
But anyway, for whatever reason, it was more than we budgeted by a
Yeah.
considerable amount.
And in this budget, remember last year at the, when we usually wrap up the budget process, we'll say, okay, let's get this where we want it to be, whether we want it to be under the tax cap, whether we want there to be a certain rate, so that the increase is X amount. So you kind of set your mind sort of where you want it to be. And last year, when we talked about using fund balance, That's why we made that fund balance analysis. We were talking about using fund balance. You decided to use 30,000 in the water or in the general and 20,000 in the highway to balance out your budget, using that fund balance in there. With the thought of, when I remember, yeah, we'll dwindle that down in the next couple of years after that. We'll dwindle it down. But you remember, even when you use fund balance to balance your budget, as you see, you didn't really use that. Cause you actually came in and added
You're
more than
adding
what you
to the-
needed.
Well, we did use it,
Yeah.
but we gained more than we used.
You gained, right, so you didn't, actually, you weren't really
You
like,
can really use the fund
We
balance.
weren't
use the
depleting
fund
it.
balance.
We weren't
We're
depleting it.
keep bringing it down further.
Right.
You weren't bringing it down further, right? So this year, this budget right here is based on just half of that. So we're using 15,000 in the general fund and 10,000 in the highway fund,
Better hang on to it.
which is
because-
really good.
Yeah, especially since Dan basically said it's gonna be bad for 26, gonna be worse for 27. So if Danby doesn't have that, if we are careful as we have been, and people have been mad that we've had that much, now they can be glad we've had that much in the fund balance. It's too bad the county doesn't.
Yeah, it's more important to the county than it is to us because we don't use that much federal money.
So it's 15 in general and 10 in highway?
Uh-huh. 15 in general, 10 in highway. So that's what this budget looks like for you. That would be the amount of increase in taxes.
That's the big picture.
You're only using about half the tax cap, maybe a little over half the tax cap increase that's allowable. So really, you can take a look at these numbers and see where you want to be. Do you want to use more of the fund balance because you saw that there was an increase more in the fund balance and keep it even lower than the $5.40? Or I know, I wrote here, perhaps the question in this budget are, then did you see my joke in your email by Laura Shawley?
Yeah.
With an LOL. Do you want to use fund balance to decrease taxes this year? Do you want to use fund balance to keep the levy the same as last year? Because you had no increases last year. So like,
Yeah.
do you want to keep the taxes the same? You want to increase them a little bit? You want to decrease them? Or does the slight increased taxes of the $560 per 100,000 look reasonable to you? Okay. Do you want to fund any of the reserves? Now, those different reserves, like say the salt shed reserve and stuff like that. I would think that you wouldn't ask the public for money for that. You could.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you my thought. Because you had such increases in the fund balance, you can simply pass the board resolution and say, hey, what we've got in that fund balance, let's throw another 10 in, let's throw another 10 in the salt shed. Or let's throw another this in, instead of going out and asking for more money for it, because you've already got it and you went way above what you had a lot left over from what you taxed the people last year.
But what we're missing and we should have is a fund balance policy.
Oh, yeah.
For capital projects and stuff. So we're instead of creating a dedicated reserve with the money tied up and you can only use it for what you specify.
Right.
The state now allows you to control stuff to have accumulate fund balance with a purpose in view. Where you have sort of an informal
Right.
reserve, but you're saving it for a reason. And you can say, well, planning on putting up a community center or whatever.
Yeah, and that's why you're accumulating it.
And that's why we're accumulating it. As opposed to creating a dedicated reserve where if we have a major catastrophe, like a tornado hits Danby and
Yes.
you got, hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional unanticipated expenses, and we don't have any money that we can pull out to deal with it.
You could actually leave your fund balance just the way it is. Like say if you decided to go with this budget, and then in the beginning of next year, we can work on that policy. Maybe get that policy going so that then you can take a look at what you've got in fund balance and say, yeah, we'd like this much set aside, not in a dedicated reserve, but as you're saying, on the books. To say, this is why we have it, because we're trying to plan this. And we're trying to make those plans, like we tried to make all the plans of what we were gonna do with the ARPA money.
Yeah.
You can see that fund balance, see where you're comfortable with sitting in there and say,
I don't
hey,
want to do that again.
what do we want to use some of this for?
Yeah.
What are our thoughts?
How many
Can we just put it in, you could have 100 spreadsheets with 100 line items in them, all different things you wanted to do with your money.
Yeah,
That's fine, because it's all gonna be a one fund balance.
I think. we-
Unless you set up dedicated reserves that Joel was, so, and
In the old days, you had to do that.
in the old days, you did have to do
Right,
that. You
right.
had to say, but then it would be an act of God to get that out of there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
If you really needed it for an emergency or change your mind.
Right, yeah,
And a lot of
We-
boards, especially when they were gonna have new boards, would
Yeah.
start taking money that, for things that they thought their ideology was at the time, and start throwing it into those reserves to say, see,
Yeah.
yep, this is what we had. Then
Yeah.
maybe a new ideology came along and you can't switch up
switch it.
at all. So it depends on the project and how serious it is, you know, for what you need, what you're looking to do.
So we can get money out if we need to pay the lawyer more.
Yeah, now we
yeah,
can.
Yes, and.
If we had a major lawsuit or
Youth
something.
Commission, this does not look like the increase thing.
We're still waiting on that. So that's one of them that we're still waiting.
Which,
No.
The youth, did we get, I mean, I didn't see it. So
Oh.
there's still some of these numbers. This wouldn't be like, oh, pass today. Like that youth commission number, we're waiting to get that. I didn't get this fire department number till today. So we've still got to doctor this up a little bit with a little here, a little there.
Oh, she said.
she said that, we got the youth partnership,
Rec partnership we got,
I mean, rec partnership, but we
Yep.
didn't get the youth.
the youth commission. That's one I'm still waiting for.
So, let's see.
I did have some questions on the general budget.
Well, we didn't get a specific shit, but we could.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to the specifics yet.
Which one, right, did you ask?
just a
General
couple of
budget.
things.
Yeah, I'd like to go through the budgets, you know,
Yeah.
line by
What
line.
else what other dedicated reserves do we have besides the salt shed?
We have a salt shed reserve. We have a
Building,
Building,
a building reserve. We have a little equipment reserve.
equipment?
Equipment, we have very little in it,
Okay.
but, you know, because of the way we buy equipment and we look to see, you know,
Yeah.
where we're at with that. And then we have, a retirement reserve.
Okay,
water district has, well, it's not a reserve, it's just a fund balance.
Yeah. And then the water, we have a retirement reserve and we established that years and years ago when retirement decided in 1 year to go.
yeah,
And it was very difficult with the budget because it went up so drastic in 1 year that we decided, let's put some away in the event that happens again. Then we can stabilize our rates a little bit easier.
what's the fund balance in the water district?
360 something.
Huh?
Yeah, about
About
360.
360.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
360.
It went up.
Oh, I don't have the water district in that one, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the one I worry about with the tank and stuff.
Well, the tank's in fine shape because it's only 10 years old, but
Pretty new.
we just put it up in 2015.
Yeah, there's been talk off and on about getting a second tank and all sorts of
No,
other
the second
things.
source, that's the,
Right,
yeah, the second well,
yeah,
yeah. And that's part of what the RFQ is going to be.
Right.
Seeing whether, how feasible it is, and
Right.
so where would.
but in the
Well,
the fund balance is like 360,
Somewhere in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. I mean, that's to me where whatever might hit the fan and we need to make sure we have
Those are your
money
safeguard
some.
numbers. Your
Yeah.
safeguard numbers in the back of your
Yeah.
mind, that's why you put that up. there.
So the 360, I assume is 360,000.
Yes,
Beans, okay. So the general,
should we go to page like this? You kind of.
have any departments put in equipment requests?
not,
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
not really.
So we don't need any equipment?
No, we haven't had really any equipment
Okay.
requests or anything big like that.
I just
Um,
noticed that.
we're paying, in the highway department, we're paying the last payment on that, on our, installment loan that we had. We purchased 3 trucks
Yes,
Yeah,
and we're paying the last one in 2026. So that will be paid. Then in 2026, we can look at that budget and of course, by then he'll see what the interest rates are in borrowing.
Yes,
It'll be
And
times five
seeing if
million.
we need to do another 3 trucks, but that's the way we've been getting equipment,
yeah.
because the interest rates have been down, but if they're up, it's not so good.
Yeah.
So it just has to be, just have to look at it from year to year.
Yeah.
And see what's happened. But if we go line item by line item that you're talking about, Joel.
Yeah, so I
Because
think
the
we could
ads
say
got-
that overall, the lines were increased by, was it 3%?
For salaries,
Salary.
Just the salary.
But also contractual was increased by what? Well, it wasn't necessarily increased.
doesn't necessarily
depends.
depend on what it
Yeah,
is.
You can see that.
Yeah.
So in the case of the town board, we increased the contractual line by $2,000 because of all the training. With 3 new board members.
Right. The
And-
training, yeah.
And also-
Increased by $2,000, considering it was looking at the last 4 years, that seems high.
Well, the reason it was something, and Mariah kind of brought it to our attention too. With all the new board members
Yeah.
we're gonna have, how many new board members this year?
3.
Right.
3 new board members. And all 3 of those board members are gonna have to go to training.
Right.
It's
Not to
the
mention
training
clerk.
that they have.
Right.
Not to
and
mention them. and-
Before it was 1,000 and up to 3,000. Before it was, it's always been 2 every year.
No, it was one. What was two?
Every year that there's an election, there's 2 board members
Well, this
elected.
is true.
Yes,
Oh.
now we've got 3.
Now we got 3, but it's going from 1,000 to 3,000.
Cause by the time they go away and they have to pay the fee and they have to, everybody having a hotel room. And the transportation back and forth to wherever they're holding it, whether
Right.
they're holding it at Albany or whether they're holding it
Well, the problem
Wherever.
is, I would say, be Rochester one.
Rochester.
Rochester.
Yeah, the
Road, yeah.
Rochester, at that double tree.
Wasn't there a choice?
You still got to stay overnight.
Yes,
Mhm.
and it's for a couple of nights
Yes, it
usually,
is.
several
3 days,
nights,
it's a 3-day
a
thing.
3-day deal.
Mhm.
We
So-
got to do it on Zoom.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, because of COVID?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
Yeah, I
Wear
did
your
it just,
pajamas to the training.
yeah, I just got in just under the wire, because I did it in 2020, just 3 months before COVID.
I went to New York in February before the March
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Did you
hit
go
the
to New York
fan.
this year too? How was that?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it good?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Damn fruit flies got him.
Fruit garden.
Yeah, because in that too is the New York trip. The New York trip is in
Yes,
this
right.
with the
The annual meeting
hotel,
of the Association of Towns.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So wherever you feel comfortable, you guys read that line. If you
Okay.
think, I know Pat, it looks like Pat might have a question with it. Or whatever you guys want to look at.
I mean, it might be, I mean, you could probably put a little bit less, but if we don't spend it, it ends up in the fund balance. It's not.
Did we not agree? I mean, are we doing line by line or are we just asking questions now?
Line by line.
So we're on page,
Yeah.
Page 1
these
in
are-
the
these-
general fund
these are
budget.
numbers.
Tentative budget.
Yeah.
It's general, but it doesn't say it at the top.
I'll let you take the lead for this, Joel.
So the court didn't ask for any more money for the foot security, so that's still the same, and I didn't spend it, we put it in the budget. At where they requested it.
And it's as needed, it's not.
That's right, yeah,
Right.
and as needed, if needed.
And the equipment budget, I assume that's left at 500 every year in case something comes up.
Yes,
Well, they need a new computer. or
a
something.
new printer, something comes up, they need a
And the
printer.
salaries here are 3%.
Yes. Excuse me.
That's that, baby.
So good not to be sitting coughing my head off. With that stupid cold and virus I had. It just, and you don't realize how much you value when you feel good. Until you
Yeah.
feel so crappy from something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here feeling all happy. My shoulder
Wonder
hurts
what-
like hell, but.
Wonder what she had for lunch.
The rest of it, yeah. I'll have what she's having. No.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. The part-time accounting assistant, is that Julia?
Yes, that's Julia. And remember what you had taken that 17,000 and you spread some of it.
Oh, that's right. We decreased it so that we could increase it elsewhere, but it's still Julia.
Yes, but it's still Julia.
We
Yes.
moved it to assistant to the planner and the code officer. Reflecting that Julia spends some of her time there, and we'd actually like her to spend more of her time there.
So I do not see, another assistant in that office.
We're on page 2.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Which office?
For the planner, you
The
mean?
town, no, for the town, like the deputy.
That's not, this is not the clerk.
This
section.
is the
This is
supervisor.
Supervisor.
This is the
The clerk
supervisor.
section comes later.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sorry. I told you I'm not good at this.
you are.
No, I'm not. It's too fast. Numbers are, you have no idea what numbers do to me. Why I don't know any history either,
All right.
because it's all dates.
We didn't put any money for the auditor again. At some point, we probably ought to have an audit, external audit,
Yes, that would be.
but Catherine did such a great job.
No,
But
Not
the
to
other
mention that
thing-
they had the
but the other
controller
thing-
coming in with.
The
a
other
call.
thing too, we just had the follow-up with the controller and
Yeah.
everything. Maybe we wait another year on that and then they've
Yeah.
already got it all.
Just we had it looking over our shoulder.
Purchasing,
Are
contractual.
you under the supervisor?
No, auditor,
Auditor, just a bunch of zeros.
the
there.
next one after that.
So I think he's
Oh,
down like about to town hall postage, 1345.41. That has the net, $3,000 for the town
Yeah,
hall
we didn't change.
postage.
In the ballpark.
Miscellaneous office equipment. Mariah didn't foresee that we really needed anything, so we have a 0 in there for that miscellaneous office equipment.
Which takes us to the clerk.
Now we're under the town clerk line.
Yeah.
Right.
3%.
Yeah, you never know when one of these printers might, bite
Well, you
the
never-
dust.
Yeah.
But
Right, yes,
But there's,
Yeah.
yeah, the individual printers are relatively inexpensive. The ink is expensive.
ink is expensive. And I think, the planner was talking about maybe getting a color printer. I think, did he talk to you about that, Laura?
no, but I think we have, I can't remember if we've got
I don't
some
need to.
equipment in his, youth, seniors planning.
There it is.
No, we don't, we still didn't have anything
Yeah.
in his equipment line, but maybe when he submitted it, he wasn't thinking of that. So maybe, and Greg's here, if he was thinking about getting another
Listening in. but-
printer, yeah, he's listening in, printer. I mean, we could put $500 back in there again.
There he is.
Yeah, it's not a high priority. No, that's why I saw that equipment line and kept it at 0. I think that happened last year, the equipment line. I guess this is a little bit of a tangent here that equipment got lumped into a general town hall equipment line. Is that true? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of the printer, I haven't really researched into that. I know John was advocating for me to get a color printer in here because of all the printing I do for planning board members and Board of Zoning Appeals. It's not a high priority. Certainly if there is equipment line for the town hall, maybe I'd consider getting one for next year. But it's not something I desperately need to have.
well, there are laser, color, I'm pretty sure. Is there not a laser printer that can,
In color?
I have a laser color printer,
That's
yes,
what I
that
said.
exists,
and
yes.
laser,
I
the
saw that she
laser,
had hers
jet-
in
the
red, which is what I
machine is
put them in.
expensive, but the,
You're the only one that's got them in
they
red.
last.
now. I try to
Really
highlight those in
expensive
red.
product.
If you do laser color.
The ink,
Well, a lot of-
or the laser,
Yeah.
the laser packs are not as bad as ink,
No, it's better.
I would
much
think
better,
it's
so I would
Definitely
advocate for laser if you need it.
But the budget for that should be in, as Jeff just said, all those are combined into a town
And
hall.
kind of a town
So
hall.
it's a generic,
Yeah, we
and
did that.
applying for any
buildings,
department, which is
building.
more efficient than
Yeah.
putting
Office
it, splitting it
computer.
up.
Department by department.
There's
Okay.
$40,000.
So basically it's there,
Yeah.
just a different line.
I'm kind of thinking that a server that serves everything should be in that line instead of in from the IT line. I don't know.
In
But
which,
the servers for all of our records for everything,
yeah, true.
instead of putting it.
We'll see that
That's
when we get
in
into the
there.
1600.
It's in the
account.
bills, under buildings.
Yes, under the building
Yeah.
section. So right now, under the town clerk section, we've got the salaries. What's different in here is that Mariah had submitted and said that, and maybe I'll let you explain that, Mariah, where we went down to 5,000 on the ad position for town clerk and tax, which is what Blake does now. And then you had said, you know, go down, take maybe 10,000 out of it because we're not gonna really need that now. That extra help, if you're looking on
Oh,
page
right.
3.
Yeah.
And you said to take that amount down because
Yep.
Blake will be here.
Blake will
And
be the town clerk and
then when you're filling in or doing it, you won't be as
right, I'll
much.
be assisting. I think 5,000 is plenty.
5,000 was plenty for the ad position for town clerk and tax.
But this project assistant, is that what Blake is doing now?
Project assistant,
Is that Julia?
Isn't that
No.
Marianne?
that's Mary Ann's line. Project assistant is Mary Ann's line,
The record management assistant.
record
really.
management.
So at this point in time, there's no extra position. Now there are
Right.
basically two deputy clerks. So we should have
In
another,
fact.
we need another person in that office.
That's what I was trying to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't. It's now we're reducing the staff by a full position.
Well, by $10,000.
$1,000.
Oh, good, then put it
Right.
back.
I mean, I'll be around. I think $5,000 will work.
What I was thinking was
I
that
mean, Blake was helping with, he was more doing project assistant stuff. That's what he was hired as,
That's what
right?
he was hired as. He was
So
doing
he
more.
wasn't hired as a deputy town clerk.
no, we have only one.
So it was for
But
specific
now he
thing
is a
that could
deputy
be,
clerk, yes.
Yeah, temporarily.
no,
Yeah,
No,
he
he
is.
did-
No.
He was a-
Got
he was-
sworn in.
Yes,
so
he
they
got
could
sworn in as
sign-
deputy clerk.
so he
Right,
could do what?
Yeah,
sign,
so there
And-
have been noise complaints about it.
Yes, he was sworn in as a town clerk, so he could sign some things, he could work with money, he could
Yeah,
do a lot of things. He is a deputy town clerk, but it's not needed in the long term. That's because he's coming in as the town clerk.
right. But we didn't, but the point was, I thought we needed to have
That's,
another
yes.
deputy in the event that did happen.
No.
When nobody was there to sign, so that was.
Even though she's there, the microphone's here.
I know.
You're saying that some of those extra projects that you hired Blake for
yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
begin are
Right.
done because you were
Right.
transferring everything over in the
Yes.
system into a new
Right.
thing. So you're
Correct.
saying
Right.
that we don't need that much
So.
Correct,
help in the town clerk's office. That's what you're saying. I
Right.
mean,
yes.
Back to the board.
January is intense. We need help in January, but
Regarding the law, and
Yeah.
I think they were asking for that to be sent in by the end of.
I
And
can't understand what that person's saying.
Oh, he was getting it all together. working on
something. Meets twice
Right.
a month.
Right.
so, but we did put more money into the newsletter.
Right,
So if Blake ends up doing
Right.
that, it would supplement his salary,
right,
and be accounted for in addition. Whereas now it's being donated by Pat, or it wasn't.
We
Pat.
were gonna put more in it. You were gonna talk about it.
Oh, you didn't do it yet?
Newsletter. No, we kept that the same at 25,000. But that was one of the things that we circled when you and I talked that you were gonna
Right.
discuss.
There was money in there, but you didn't spend it.
That's correct.
Yeah. So the question is that enough money or should we put more in? And I don't even remember what we used to pay Ted to do the Danby News, because there was a salary line in that.
I thought it was 6,000.
It might
We
have been.
had-
something like that.
might
I'd have to
been.
look.
So right now, there's probably about another like 9,000 in there to pay somebody to work on the Danby area news. When you really stop and think about it, when we get done with the year, it'll be about
That's correct.
$16,000 worth of
That's
expenditures.
correct.
Of your expenditures that you had. So right now that
This is about
newsletter line item's
15,000.
looking at like $9,000
Right.
that would be available to
Okay,
pay
for some-
somebody to do it, and Blake might very well decide to do that. And so there's money there to do it. Added on to his duties, yes, because last year, that's when we'd come up with that one position that said add position for town clerk and tax.
Right.
There's something that you need, you don't really know what you're gonna need, and to
Right.
have some extra. So having that over here, plus we had the newsletter and other support.
Right.
So Mariah's saying that that amount could come down for that other help, because you got those laws put together, you got
Yeah.
some of those extra projects put together in transferring over from your Microsoft or wherever you're doing and getting all that data up in
Right.
there. That a lot of that stuff's done at this point, so you're not thinking that you
Right.
need
Right.
quite as much of those extra projects in there as you did before. I guess that's what Mariah's saying.
Yes.
That's what I gathered when she
Mhm.
had
Yeah.
submitted her budget and was talking about it. But then back on the newsletter thing too, I know it's jumping ahead another category,
Yeah, right.
but while we're talking about it, maybe you think you need more than this 25,000. That's what we were talking about, Joel, when we,
Look, right, there's a
Kinda
question of whether or
circled
not
that.
that would suffice, but.
if you thought that was
we
the
didn't think
fight.
so.
Well, the proposed.
Initial
I would-
budget, the initial intention was to have the cost be about 15,000 and then 10,000 free for somebody
To
to do
work
the
on it.
work. So if it's 9,000 left, we could always raise it by 1,000 and that would be 10,000 for the
Mhm.
work on the budget.
I think if we are gonna do that, to avoid some problems, we need to adjust the name of that account. It
Newsletter and other
simply says-
support.
Yes, ads, because we get flack about that newsletter every time we turn around somewhere. If we have that budget line.
Where is that in-
25, I don't,
Page 1620.43.
What kind of flat, what do you mean, whack?
how much money we're paying more than what did, you know,
Ed's paying for
yes.
his.
what he did.
Oh, yeah.
He's, every chance he gets, he
He's the
says,
only one who does. I mean,
No.
as far as I know.
no, because the other people in town say, how come you're spending so much when it could be?
I know, we
And I
can
just
we can have
think
Ted
this-
do it for less, right, yes.
Right, they say it.
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, I was just suggesting to add a word or two that's,
like what?
Well, it does say other support.
oh, it does say.
Yeah. it says
Newsletter and other support.
Yeah.
Newsletter and other
Okay.
support.
Yeah,
Which could include like the webpage.
Yeah, well, that's another thing, the webpage. We didn't
Right.
even talk about that, but
Yeah.
we,
And right now.
That's what you were thinking too. with some of
Mariah's
the other
doing it
support.
for-
Yeah.
Really, the other support, we were thinking
Yeah.
of hiring somebody to do that newsletter.
yeah.
Well, I remember, you were right. I remember last year,
Yes,
that
it
was
was
your
in there.
intention.
Yeah,
It was about 10,000.
and when it was put in there initially, the other support did mean the newsletter and the website both.
yeah.
The initial budget had that in.
Yes.
And
Well, I
Mariah's
was
doing it
thinking
for,
that too, when they mentioned
no
that.
additional
You're right.
charge.
I know,
think
I-
all of that was in that 25,000.
Right.
That thought,
Right.
so maybe that 25,000 should come up.
Yeah, the website, because it's crazy to have to do all those, all the plug-in adjustments all the time because we're at the max on the interference with plugins.
Would you want this line item to say newsletter, comma, website, comma, other support?
The intent was no other support. It was just those two
It was just those two.
initial.
We could make it a newsletter website.
Yeah,
Want to call it that and add a little money to it?
I mean, I'm not gonna be here, but I do think that what we do, what we call things matters.
It
Because
does.
right now, we're not paying anybody to do the website, so to
Right.
speak.
Right.
It's all part of the job in the town clerk's office. But you're thinking, last year, when we were thinking about increasing the amount for the town clerk, you thought it was best to come up with a few categories
Right.
Yeah,
of
right.
where it would split out.
Add specificity to the,
Add more specific, yes, to the extra duties.
Do we want to say that's 30,000?
I think
I
we'd
mean-
probably be fine to leave it at 25 or
That's
26.
okay.
I would
October
like to
6th.
suggest that we go with the 25 and calculate all the hours spent on newsletter and website.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
if we
fine.
go a little
That's
bit
fine.
over,
Even
I
if
think
you
it'll be
felt
all
the
right.
way that you're a resident of the town. If
Just to
it's,
keep track of it in the next year.
You enjoy it, that feels better. Yeah, you're perfectly welcome.
Should we go up to the 26th though? That you were talking about, because you wanted 10,000 and we've been spending about 16 in expenses.
I would just leave it.
Just leave it at the 25,000? Okay,
All right.
okay. We keep it?
So we skipped.
Okay, so if we go
The
back,
training line stayed the same, that when it's okay, as long as we don't get sued. Because even if the suit has no merit, you still have to defend yourself.
Right,
we were talking to something about engineering services.
Yeah,
That you were thinking that we were gonna be
we're
using.
doing
some
it, you know, we're
engineering
hiring
services.
engineers to do things and we got a line in the budget and then say, why is this here? Well, why is it here? But we don't put any money in it, even though we are,
Don't we usually get grants to pay for engineering?
that was Laura's response, was that sometimes we do, but you know, we're about to spend money on engineer for the skate park
Right.
and for the access here. Not using grant money,
Not using grant money.
so those are engineering services.
well, isn't this a place where you could do those budget transfer into it when we
Yeah, you
need it,
could.
so we don't have to
Yeah,
tie
Let's
that money
figure out
up?
where you're gonna transfer it from, but.
fund balance.
Yeah,
Balance?
Well, I mean, your transfers are internal. I mean, you only attack the fund balance if you can't move the money around.
You might have some left over in another line item you could turn, but if you didn't,
Then we use
you
fund
can
balance.
use the fund balance because you've got,
Yes.
and you've got, and there's your, you know, the fact that we don't have a written policy right now. They ever came in, or anybody ever wanted to know, there's your thing.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
what is
We got
that?
the fund balance.
That
fund
fund balance
balance.
analysis
balances.
where we kept increasing,
Yeah,
increasing.
we've got the money to do it.
We've
yeah.
got the money to, if you were, you know, needed 5,000
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
I thought we specifically said we were gonna fund the front entrance stuff and that,
Yeah, out of our own funds, well,
Right,
as opposed to trying to grant money for it.
because it would take way longer, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
It was taking forever anyway.
so,
If there's engineering services too that you want to use for the building, we can always use the building reserve.
Is that true
Oh.
too?
For engineering services for
And
them.
that's restricted, which
Right.
means we want to use it.
You can use it. You
Yes.
want to use it out of there and then take a look at your fund balances and say, let's throw 40 in it.
Right.
or At the end of the year, whatever. You have that ability to do
Right.
that, just with a board vote.
Yeah.
You can do that.
So, anyway, I wonder how this got in here. Is this a state line?
So do you think that we should put in the engineering, something in there for that skate park that you
No.
wanted to use?
Really?
No, just wait and use fund
Because
balance.
as you say, we could use the building reserve.
Gotcha.
Why,
I'm running my.
I'm just wondering whether we need it at all, and whether it's a state, if it doesn't align in the state
Whether it's
template that we just have there and we don't put anything in it.
We can take it out if you want,
Raises, you know, it raises some conversation, which is good.
which is what
I
we
mean,
just did, yeah.
I think it's good because then when we do have to pay a bill, if we move the money in there, it shows that.
That's
it
what
shows
the line
that
is.
We've spent the money
Yeah.
on engineering, not just willy-nilly.
Right, right.
Yeah, we can move that in
Put
there
the
and then.
Mysterious
move
contractual line.
And move,
Right.
move something into the budget when we need it for whatever.
Mhm.
Okay,
To the real thing
Oh,
we're
okay.
spending it on.
we'll keep that there.
If he orders.
It's a busy bathroom over there.
Yes, right.
So building.
What is going on?
That
What should they
snow,
have for lunch?
I know,
Um,
that snow removal. And there's
Snow removal, that was a little bit-
1620s.
We pared it down and then we increased the compensation to the point where we're kind of close.
Or what?
This is a David McCarthy, snow shoveling,
Right,
and now we're paying 24.82 an hour. We need a little bit more money in that line.
I put $100 more. If
Yeah.
you look on page
Buildings.
3, at the very bottom, a
Yeah.
1620.10. Very bottom starts with
Yeah.
those buildings.
how much are we paying him to shovel the snow?
The living wage rate,
Oh,
2482.
24.82.
2482 is living.
Mhm.
24.
That's our entry level
24,
compensation.
I'm gonna, when I'm done with this, I'm getting a town job.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get the snow.
Me too.
That's pretty good money.
What's the
I
minimum
need
wage
money.
right now?
I'm gonna need money.
Is the minimum wage something like 15.60, something like that?
15.50.
$15.60 or
Somewhere in that
15.50,
neighborhood.
somewhere in that neighborhood.
$15.50. Correct.
50?
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know, Dan Klein had said too in one of his meetings that the county was gonna
Oh,
abandon that thought
yeah.
of not being a living wage employer.
A lot
That
of,
because it's up to $24.
it's a one hell of a
It's
jump.
too much,
It's, they count,
too
we,
many people.
Our lifeguards made 24
Yeah.
too.
That was
so
it.
what-
Our lifeguards made 24
Yeah.
too. Being a lifeguard.
It's a pretty sweet job.
Because the town has labeled itself as a living wage,
Right.
registered as a living wage.
We may
employee.
not always be able to be one.
Well, we
Well, I
definitely
think
let
the
the tax on
county's
that
getting
one.
ready to pull out of that.
Hmm?
I think the county
Yeah.
themselves are.
Yeah, so it probably
Yeah.
wasn't such a
They
great.
can't afford it. Or they could get rid of a lot of people. Why
Well,
not?
that's
what-
Things are.
And you know what? That's what
companies
that
do.
brings about,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
that all of a sudden there's
If
people.
you raise the minimum wage, then people can't afford to hire teenagers or.
Or they can't have as many employees anymore. You're gonna be,
Nope.
so we can start eliminating some positions.
Well,
in order to pay the
there's a-
23.
a new threat today for a whole bunch more.
Well,
It's
yes.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
And the people.
You shut
can't
the government
play-
down, I'll fire a bunch of people.
Right,
Yeah.
and then they can't pay their increasing electric bill.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
We digress.
So in the Microsoft budget,
Well,
Mhm.
I'm not digressing
Okay.
because the money,
It
we're gonna be faced with
increased.
these things for people. too.
Well, it's the same. We
from
put,
this year, but are we gonna spend that much money this year? It's been way down. Is the actual expenditure is gonna be up for the rest of the year?
I think that there is in a monthly bill that we get, there is an amount that's in that monthly bill.
Mhm.
And I think we're only halfway through the year so far on that monthly
Yeah,
bill.
yeah.
So I'm thinking that it will be using most of that 10-4.
Okay.
Which thing are we talking about?
Microsoft.
Microsoft budget on the
Yeah,
next
Microsoft
page,
budget.
appropriations.
And I'm not sure. It might go, I'm sorry, it might. I'm not, Mariah, when we were looking at that. Do we have I know we have a contract with them, TCNS with that Microsoft stuff. Was that like a 2-year contract
it's
or
3 or something.
is a 3-year contract? So maybe that amount's gonna stay the same. But anyway, keeping that the same, we'll probably use most of it. And if there is a slight increase because of one thing or another. Then, and then also your storage. Remember you were talking about
Yeah.
that storage.
That's what I was.
So does that fall in this line
Um,
item or is
can't
it,
afford
that's in information
Or
technology?
information technology, I would think that would fall into, we don't have Otter anymore, which, saved us a couple, $700-800. But I think we have the cybersecurity insurance, which went up.
Yes, right. There wasn't provisions for that before.
But maybe that information technology. With the server, with all those other things, maybe we should go up a little
Where's
bit.
where's the money for the cybersecurity insurance? Is that in the insurance line?
That's in the the unallocated insurance.
Okay. And it accounts for it.
Mhm.
Okay. To the next line. So it says crime, property, disability, should cybersecurity be
We
added?
probably could put
Yeah.
cyber in there.
Yeah.
too.
The parenthetical stuff was added just to say, what's unallocated insurance?
What's what?
Unallocated.
I asked
insurance.
that, Laura,
Yes.
when you unallocated insurance, what's that?
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
what's not health insurance.
So the
And what's
Beersley
not
Lane,
workers' compensation?
It's
and
not
what's
with
not-
that. Yeah.
Beersley Lane, $160. I mean, what's that gonna pay for?
Right,
You know, and Joel and I were
I
talking
asked-
about this too, and we thought
Yeah, I
we
asked
need to
the
look into this.
But it's just, but you know, we created this district.
Right,
So they're like the water district, it probably should have its own assessment.
right.
And it shouldn't be here, it should be like in a separate page like the water district is. You know, Pierce
Right, right.
Lane, water,
Right. But
But
and
this
the
drain-
the residents pay for.
When they
for
were
the
charging us
upkeep.
property tax, when we first got that, we got property tax bill.
Right, right.
And then last year we said, okay, 160 again, but I haven't seen a property tax bill in 2025. Usually by this time, the bells and whistles, oh, you're late on your property tax and stuff like that.
Wonder who's
But
paying
but
it.
I know somebody asked that question, I think you did, Joel,
Did.
and somebody looked into it and said, wait a minute, why is the town paying property tax on something like that? So maybe it got straightened out, maybe we don't need that $160
yeah,
a
it could
year.
be. But Greg, are you there?
Maybe it was Greg that
Yeah.
looked into it, or David
Yes.
West.
Did you
Right.
hear that, the question about the Beardsley Lane, district? We've only got a little bit of money to work with. We're planning on doing a regular assessment to the residents in order to pay the ongoing costs of that district. Shouldn't we be putting money in the budget and for that district to give us the money we need in order to make the work that needs to happen on a regular basis get funded?
I think so. I did see that line item in there, which was pretty small, I think $160, but isn't there an escrow amount of
Yes.
4,000 something?
Yeah, it's about, it's
Yeah.
a little under
This
5,000.
part right here, that we had
This is
put that,
different.
yeah, that's kind of different. They had, when we first got that property, they were giving us a tax bill, a property tax bill. Just like any other property got a property tax bill, and the property tax bill was $160. And then back in 2025, last year, we didn't see the bill, but we stuck the 160 in there in the budget because we thought we'd have the property taxes. But then what you're talking about, what Joel's bringing up now, is your,
Special
that
assessment.
special assessment, when we do the tax bills for each one of the properties in that development, to
Right,
have to pay
right.
a special assessment in that taxes. Has that started yet?
No,
No.
but it can now that the district's established. So I'm saying it probably ought to be in the budget this year to have an assessment to cover the costs of that drainage district. And we need some numbers to put in
Yeah.
for that, but that's,
But it's nothing that we're gonna pay for. The residents
they will pay.
themselves will pay for.
right, it's kind of like what the water district, exactly like the water district, you know, the people in the
I see what
district
you
pay
mean.
that.
So up in A 1001, which is our revenue line for property taxes, we should have an A 1002 or whatever.
Whatever
we're
it
gonna
is,
label
right.
that's gonna come in for
Yeah.
those taxes.
Right.
And then we can
Yeah.
show going back out to put into our trust and agency
Right.
fund to be sitting
Mhm,
more in that amount.
right.
Yes.
So, yeah, so Greg, you might want to take a look at the figures and, you know, what it's gonna actually cost to hire the work that we need to have done.
Right.
And put some money, and we'll put some money in the budget so that they can be
Yeah.
assessed for it.
What's in the escrow? How much?
It's about 5,000, I think it's left.
O1B, you could
Yeah.
make O1B, and that's
This-
gonna be for.
And there's a lot of, nothing's happened in the last 10 years, so, you know, it needs some makeup
Right,
to bring it up, but it's not that bad, you know, it's mostly a matter of clearing brush.
right,
There's a little bit of work that needs to be done in the detention ponds for the overflows.
right.
So
Yeah.
I'll look back at the report that was done up in 2021 by TG Miller and maybe go from there in terms of estimated costs in future years. Where this last landed, and not to go on so much of a tangent now, because I think maybe it's just worth talking with Laura and Joel about this on the side, but that we did put out an RFP or RFQ last year to try to hire some help. Only one
Right.
person responded to that, and it was a lot of money. Since then, I talked to Keith at Highway to see if maybe they could do some of the work because it is
I was thinking.
mostly
yeah.
vegetative management. Not to speak for him, but he did say it's possible that they are trained to do this work and that they can have time. when we spoke last, it was at the beginning of spring, and he showed me this list of things they needed to get to before they could even get to this Beardsley Lane properties. And in my assessment, I thought if it has to wait one more year till you get here, it's just vegetation management. I go out there during big flooding events and everything that I don't think it's a major issue. It does need to be cleaned up and taken care of eventually, but it's not like it needs to be taken care of this week or anything. So all that to say that what I'd like to do is follow up with Keith and see if his crew can get out there. The escrow could go to his department in some way to cover their time and everything. But I do agree that, we should be thinking ahead beyond the escrow amount, and that's where the residents are required to be kicking into a fund to pay for that future maintenance, whether it's highway or contracted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
So-
if I can do it more economically, but that money, when they do that, that's money that will transfer to highway for them doing the work, whether they do the work or we hire a contractor to do the work. We'll do it the most economical way possible, but the highway's entitled to be compensated for that work when they
And
do.
then when do you think,
That's what he said.
when do you think you want to start putting that on the taxes? You want to start putting that on the taxes this year, which then you'd really have to kind of really get going because Mariah will
Maybe
have
not
to turn in,
rushing. Maybe
will
we
have to
should
be
do it
turning
next year.
everything.
Maybe
to
save
get
it
the
again next year,
taxes.
not push
Maybe
it.
that would also give, warn the residents. that
So
it's
this
gonna-
next year, we could spend maybe the escrow at cleaning it up if we needed to. or
If
We might
this,
need
that.
more than the escrow to do it.
But then,
Or maybe not. It's not a
Maybe
lot.
not.
Yeah,
Well, we tried to,
He said it wasn't that bad and it couldn't
Yeah.
even wait another year.
he also said that when we asked contractors what they would charge to do it, they wanted a lot more money.
Right.
And then maybe highway could do it for less, but if we contracted it out, the escrow wasn't
Right, it
gonna
wasn't
cut
enough.
it.
Yeah. I remember originally, way back when, way back when, it was one, the thought of possibly highway doing it when they didn't have something else.
Yeah.
To do, that it would be maybe fun.
Well, and it may well turn out that the highway can do it cheaper than we can hire it done,
Yeah,
because they're not trying to make a profit doing it,
right.
but
Well,
there's
they
no
can do it a little
harm,
at a
you put the,
time.
the district's been established. The
Right.
residents have an expectation that they're gonna be billed
Right.
annually for this to happen. If we put something in to start doing that, and then we have more than we need, we can adjust as we go forward, just as we did with the water district. We ended up putting a whole bunch of money aside that we didn't really need, without a purpose in view. We have a purpose in view here. We know it's gonna be costing annually to maintain this. If we have a little bit of money in the reserve, it'll be a fund balance for that account.
so
Are you
wanna
advocating to start it this year?
I am,
No. that's what
if it can be
sounded like.
done.
You'd have maybe 2.5 months to get
Yeah,
that
kind of.
ready.
What needs to be done?
I don't know.
Well, this is already been
District,
established.
but
Setting
yeah,
up,
but
the
that's-
billing, setting up.
It
I
would
just
just have
feel
to be
like-
something that is ready so that you knew the rate, you knew how much per resident,
Right, So
that
we
you
need-
wanted
we
to
need
charge
a-
as a
we need
special
a-
assessment.
right, we need how much money to raise, which Greg's gonna give us an
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
And then we need to distribute that over the assessed value of the properties that are in that district.
Right.
To come up with how much it's gonna cost per thousand for that district and set a rate therefore. And that's it, it goes into.
Are you planning on say there were 20 houses, there were 20 residents, you'd figure out how much you needed and divide it by 20? Or
No,
are you
it
gonna,
goes by the
you're
property
gonna go
value.
by the property value?
It's gonna go by the property value
Gotcha.
because it's a district and we're
I
doing
just think
taxes.
putting all that together in 2 months is a bit hurried.
And doesn't seem necessary. If it was necessary, that's different, but it doesn't seem
I do- I
necessary.
mean, I'd rather
Give it time.
give us give whoever's gonna have to do it, time to do it. And also a warning to the residents that, hey, this is starting next year. I mean,
Yeah, more than just it's coming at some time in the near future and say, oh,
they've
next
had
week.
enough surprises.
What happens if we don't have enough money to pay what needs done
What if we don't have enough money to,
in escrow? to pay for what needs to.
Well, we do what it would pay for.
Can we lend?
We could do $5,000 worth of work
Mhm.
and then do the rest of the work after, next year. Doesn't sound like there's a lot of, it's not an emergency. You know, that would be my choice to not rush through this. I mean, I know I'm not the one having to put together this district and figure out property values and all.
We
that,
got
and you
that.
can push a button and figure it out, but it would be nice to, take some time and do it.
If there was something that said there was an emergency coming up, then we should push it.
Yeah.
But there is nothing that said it's an emergency coming up, so I would just let it go. Especially since Laura's gonna be out, for a while. Don't make it worse.
I mean, that would just be my choice.
Yeah.
It's not an emergency. Greg is,
Not an emergency, I think it's prudent planning
Yeah.
stuff, but.
yeah.
And I don't think that
Planning,
big
but
of-
we should have planned it 6 months ago.
Yeah, right.
It's to get a package together in 2 months I think it's,
Along with all the other budget stuff that's coming up.
I don't see it as that heavy a lift, but because we know what the district is, we've already created the district. We know what properties are in it.
is this something we should vote on at the next town board meeting? Instead of making a decision at this workshop?
We have $4,000 in there,
5,000?
5,000, there's $5,000.
Is it five? Is it five?
That's, Greg thought it was around.
4 or
50.
5.
That was my guess, it's around five. Your hand is up, Greg. You wanna-
I was just thinking, I think it might be okay. My feeling is that it might be okay to wait, and given that it's almost October, right? Even though the residents have been put on notice a few years ago, to maybe give them a little bit more time, like earlier in the year, and saying, hey, this is going to be coming up next year, on your tax bill. But in doing that, and along that line of thinking, I would go back to Keith and just ask him, with the exact dollar amount that's in escrow, and ask him what
can
can
you
be
do?
done with this amount in terms of, the work that's required.
Other
Um,
thing, maybe he'll get into it and decide he doesn't want to do it.
Right.
And then if he got into it and decided he didn't want to do it, if you put something in the taxes now, okay?
no.
Now, in the next year, you might have to increase that substantially. And how are those people
Oh,
gonna
that's the
feel
worst.
about that? If you put in an amount now and then have to increase it because he says, no, the highway doesn't really want to be involved.
That's
in it.
actually a good idea.
And now we're gonna need,
Could just
but it would,
play,
it would
right,
give him an
right.
opportunity to get in there to see if it is something he wants to be involved in. That's one way of looking at it.
That's
If you
good.
do wait, but
That's good.
And maybe he'd say,
'Cause he
forget
might
about
change his
highway,
mind.
he'd do it himself for $3,000.
and he's like that.
He has-
I know,
He's
he's
like
like
that.
doing
He's
it.
done that sort of thing, as has.
Toys, the toys, yeah.
It would give him it would give everybody, I think, maybe an idea of what's really involved.
Yeah, before just pushing something on somebody, and then it would be worse if you push something on them.
Yeah.
It's wrong, and we have to double it or triple it next year. That's.
Well, should we add this to the agenda for the next board
To
meeting?
talk about it.
We could, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
Um,
could fight about it there.
someplace else.
I'm gonna circle.
We could, in
this
the meantime,
on
we could
this.
pick out what is involved in doing it.
Yeah,
I'm just circling that
Right.
1001B to see if it comes up for that. And maybe we could have Keith there too to talk about it.
Okay, where would this end up? It would be a whole nother page.
It would be under the
Like-
revenue section,
a
like
different-
1001, like under property tax. It would be 1001 under property tax. That you're gonna be receiving that in, and then, excuse me.
wouldn't it have to have a separate?
And then it's gonna end up being transferred out of there
Yeah.
into the trust and agency.
Mhm.
Be transferred into the trust and agency to hold it in there. To hold it in there. And so whatever came in is gonna go back out. So we would have, under special items,
Where are you?
and we could use the 1930.4. So it's kind of like chips. in the highway.
1930,
Whatever we
44.
budget is gonna come in, we also budget that it's gonna go back out. So if we use the 1930.4, you know that it's
Yeah.
gonna, if it comes in, because it's gonna be a
Point
walk.
44, it's going out.
1930.4,
Yeah.
if you put something in, you can get Beardsley Lane properties. Actually, it's labeled just perfectly.
Right, right. Right.
So we could take the 160 out of there now if you
Well,
want. to.
it should be, is this the right place for it? It would be Beardsley Lane, drainage district.
Yeah. Yeah, drainage district.
Beardsley Lane Drainage District, there you go.
Yeah, so in that case, you take the 0 out, or the 760.
And then we'd have a separate account number over in that, what do they call it, fiduciary subsidiary or whatever now, instead of trust and
Fiduciary.
agency, fiduciary, I keep calling it trust and agency, I need to change for that time. It's like all these years of 25, 30 years of,
Trust and agency.
of
Where-
trust and agency.
Where's that?
Oh, that's a whole different fund.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not part
I
of
know,
this.
yeah.
But if you just said here, Beardsley Lane Drainage District, we know that that is gonna come out of there and be
Go here.
transferred
Right.
over into the trust and agency.
So do we take?
The
just
money will
cross
come
off
in.
the
Just
160?
cross off the 160.
Cross off the 160
Okay.
for right now, so
Yep.
it's gonna be zero.
We made $160.
Wow, guys, good work.
Why we're doing so much?
So, but over
What would
here
we put-
in 1001, go into page 10, go to page 10 under revenues. Under the 1001, real property taxes,
Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah,
underneath it, we would have a 1001B. Probably what we would label 01B, and that would be
One.
Beardsley Lane
A.
Drainage District.
001B.
so why would this be treated any differently than the water district?
What's the name of it? Beardsley.
Because the water district, it wouldn't show up under A. They have their, in the SW
Totally
fund,
separate.
in the SW fund, they have an SW, whole different fund. I
Why
don't think
can't-
you're planning on having a whole new fund, do you, for this?
Maybe. I mean, how does the town of Ithaca do, lighting districts?
I don't know, but I know that they're really.
I mean, there's sewer districts, water districts, lighting districts.
We have a whole year to wait to figure this out.
Yeah,
Either
we don't have
put
to do it
here,
today.
Either.
We can
goes
do
there,
that.
it's a
We
whole
can
nother
set up
district,
another
like the
fund.
water district.
Right.
Yeah.
When you decide that you really wanna do it, then if we wanna put it in a different fund, we can do that. We can-
Yeah.
I just wanted to just.
Instead of an
we wanted to Set it
SW.
up right, basically, right?
Yeah.
Which is why you don't want to rush it.
SW, SF, we have a different fire
Yeah.
district for the money going in and out of there, and we could do it that way too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we could do it that way.
Yeah, then we might want to, but.
And that's why you have time to look
Yeah,
at it.
see how involved it's
Yeah.
gonna be.
One of the,
You're gonna have-
especially since the water district
fine.
made the changes on theirs so quick and then they totally screwed it up. We don't want to have any
Okay.
risk of doing that.
That's good, we can do a fund, that's a good idea. A whole different fund when it comes down to it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I'm more
Other governments,
concerned that
there's
we
5 different.
we end up hitting them with a lot of money in one year because we didn't say, we didn't make regular
way to look at it,
deposits
too.
along the way. They've already deferred this way too long.
I did have a question on traffic control contraction.
Yeah,
Just the signs.
yes, the
Oh,
signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith has made
Sign
known
code.
that we have many, many signs that are not in compliance with the new regulations that are out there. A lot of them. There's a lot of signs that need to be replaced in the town. So that's why, and next year, he really wants to be working on that. That's why we went up 10,000 in that line,
Yeah.
to say we really do need to get working on them. And
Yeah,
get,
that,
get 'em.
remember that
That makes sense.
notification we got from the state that they were gonna close 3496 for work?
Yeah.
They ended up re-signing the whole road. Every sign got taken down and replaced with a new one.
And there's
It's-
new regulations on sign posts as well.
Yeah, the posts are different, the signs are about 50% bigger than they were before. And
With
more
visibility.
reflective, and they've got.
Yeah, it's a ageism thing.
Yeah.
It might be
But
partly that.
that makes sense, that
yeah.
increasing it makes.
And they
sense in
may,
case.
and they have more signs too, cause
Yeah.
now instead of just having the sign, street sign, it says, you know, They got, you know, where they have the sign indicates the intersections ahead, and the little
Right.
key, it says,
Right,
now underneath it tells you what the intersection is.
right, yes.
Each
that-
one of them,
yeah,
yeah.
that-
You mean like driveway? or
Yeah, no, what the name, like.
You mean the names of the streets?
The names of the streets.
Yeah.
Like if you're
Wow.
coming down
Those
Slaterville Road,
Duplicative, but
Burns Road, and then the next road are written right on the sign.
Wow.
yeah, so you don't have to guess what the next intersection is, or, you know, that's what's unsafe. You know, so I'm looking for the intersection with Station Road.
Yeah.
You're driving along and you say, well, you know, and then there's the intersection sign, you know, and then you slow down, and look, is it that one, you know, and you read the street
Right.
sign.
So this,
Now it tells you right on the thing, an intersection coming up, what the intersection
Right.
is.
Well, how tall is the writing? I mean, some of these roads,
Pretty-
Macaranian is like a really long name and so is
the
Nelson.
signs will have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Some of them
Because
are
it'll be
pretty
like the
long.
fire.
We need,
Too
we need to
dangerous to
get that,
read.
they should.
Well, you know,
should
Dan
get
Buzzkirk goes.
Money back from those horse signs.
Crazy.
Have you seen the horse signs? You can't even, there's like, they're almost
really?
blank.
Wait, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
the fading, the horse signs.
The horse signs.
We got brand spanking new ones on
The which-
3496.
They're just, you can't, the
There's
black
some-
is like
Oh, Oh.
tan or something. I mean, it's,
because they're just worn off.
they're just worn
reflecting?
out. They're,
Okay.
it's obviously crappy paint or something.
Now, they did a contract to do this, so even though last year, our highway department replaced the welcome to the town of Danby
Uh-huh.
sign. Settled 1795. The state replaced it with a new sign, just as town of Danby.
Really? What'd they do with our old sign?
A lot of these, some of these old signs weren't so old. On my
I
street,
guess it's their.
Tompkins
road.
County 188, they put the new sign up 2 years ago. They took it down, put a new one up
Yeah,
with new posts.
that's why our signs cost
The
so
other gets,
much.
the other gets recycled.
It's crazy. They could have sold it to somebody.
Yeah.
Or we could have sold. it.
Anyway, yeah. So some of them were pretty new, but they got replaced anyway.
Did you see our other government,
contract.
our other government support went down by a few bucks?
Which,
Yeah,
A 1989.4. Look at Exhibit A, which is on page 17. Hello.
1999.
I think it was in the Queel, in the Cuba Lake watershed. I think that they took that and then spread it out for several years. So I think that went down a little bit to 1021. And then so I've got all of these figures, 12,814. So that's pretty much the same. It just went down a little bit. Contingent account, we left the same at 6,000.
Which we didn't use this year, but we used it some years.
oh, there you
Oh,
are.
we used some.
There you are.
Yep.
Okay.
And the contingent grant match,
So what page are you on now?
5. Page 5.
Right, it's this year.
We're still there,
By
yeah, the
contract.
15,000
Okay.
and the
all right,
control of dogs
Okay.
and the
Yeah,
Okay.
highway superintendent stuff.
questions on that?
We stayed the same on page 6 with the
Yeah.
garage, the street lighting. Rec partnership went up. We did get that exact figure from Marty.
I did contact Kate, she said something, so, I mean, she just did,
Yeah.
she said she didn't know, but I.
Oh, about the youth? Mhm.
And
Oh, okay.
before we get away from it, on the scholarships are not listed anywhere, and last year we made them,
Oh,
yeah, so we usually had them at 1,000, and I don't see that, we don't have the scholarship,
we
because
put
that's
that?
not included.
We did put something.
And
The
the
youth
remember
commission.
last year, we increased in some, there was discussion
Danby
about
Youth
whether. we
I
should
think we,
have to.
I think we,
34,550.
we lumped them right in that Danby Youth Commission.
Yeah, but they're not lumped in.
Well, they are in our budget.
What?
But not in theirs.
But not in theirs.
Okay.
What does theirs say now for
For
this next year that they're not in there?
they want a 3% increase.
Okay,
And
From
then
where to
there's a
what?
request for everybody to try and contact the county because. Let's see, where is it? I will
Right.
send this to you. I'm not good at this.
right there, the county was, yeah.
so the Danby Youth Commission wants 3% over the 34,550?
It's
No,
recommending
that's not their-
3%
That's not-
increase in 26
That's not
from
the
the
salary.
towns.
No, that's not their
Exactly.
salary.
So it's gonna be something.
It's 60 here. Somebody else look at this. You had to move it around because. Because I think that's a whole number, and then you have to figure the part of the town.
3,
That's
4,
what's confusing.
557, which is,
That's not very much, $7, so something.
right,
Well,
Danby Youth Commission
What did you do?
The
recommendation.
34555 includes more than
from the
that.
town. So it's not just the salary in there.
no.
She said it's
Yeah.
scholarships is included in that
Scholarships-
number.
Town of Danby,
I'm not talking about that right now.
I know, but that's
We
why
are.
it's not a big,
I thought you were talking about something else. I'm sorry.
No.
As I say, you all talk, don't look at me for this.
Right.
yeah,
So
you
let's
said it's
look
not
at
a big
Wait,
increase,
just-
but it is.
It's more than it
rec
looks.
partnership contribution.
So I don't remember, wasn't it more like
Leslie has it in her
28
hand. Let her
something
look
like
at it.
that?
She's got it in her hand. Let her look at it.
Rec partnership. 19,785, and then in
That one
addition
did
to
get that
that
number.
is the 1,000. So we need to add 1,000 somewhere.
Right.
For
And does it get,
scholarships.
does it get
Okay.
added to rec partnership or to the youth
It
commission?
should
Youth
be
commission.
the
Youth
youth
commission.
commission.
It's youth commission
So we need to add 1,000 to that.
above the 34.5.
What's the amount that they want? In
3, 4, 5, 5, 7.
three, they went 3, 4, 5, 5, 7,
Yeah,
and we want it, so we want to make this 35,
right,
5, 5, 7.
yeah.
Didn't we do more than 1,000 in scholarships last year?
Yes, we did, and that
We
was a
did.
We
request.
did extra.
That was accidental though. right?
Well, but there's been.
Then you
discussion.
guys went ahead and approved
Extra.
that they did some.
Yeah.
extra.
Beyond
You
it,
want to
yeah.
add 1,500 to this line?
You want to add? you think-
These scholarships are pretty valuable. For a couple of things. I mean, it's goodwill, one, it's giving help to families that are gonna be having
Yeah.
harder times.
And if you do 1,500, you don't have to have.
It's
the
only
stuff.
$1,000.
So add 1,500 to the 34.
So if you went
5, 5, 7.
$36,050, $36,050.
So it's
Right.
34.
Yeah, we don't want to put the
557.
$7 in
Yeah,
there.
it is.
You don't
We
put-
go on-
you don't put
Danby
those
really
in
gets to the
budgets.
nitty-gritty, doesn't she? Okay. I wonder if it was a 7 because they went to 52 cents. No,
So Pat, you're suggesting what?
36,050, I'm not. suggesting-
$36,050. That's added
30
1,500 to this number.
Yeah,
Oh, I see what you're
36.50.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay, 36.
050.
Okay.
Now, this is, I don't see
Okay.
where the 3% compared to, because you already added on ours, I guess.
Well, I
You
mean,
must have
presumably
added
they've
some.
got the 3% already added to the number that to the 34,557.
But you didn't know about the 3% until just
No.
now. So
Well-
I'm asking why, because that's only $7 increase or something.
No, no,
doesn't feel
because, but this already had more money in it
That's
than
what I
theirs.
was.
Yes, yes, it
So,
already
but
had more money. in
that
it.
says 2025.
Right,
It isn't, it is not different from 20. I was saying the year to date is 34,550. And then the 26.
No, no, no,
That's
Yeah,
the year to date.
I-
That's
That's
the
what
full
budget-
year.
So they've only spent 5,000 to something.
295 is what we've
So
got
far.
billed from them so far.
So would, into that, because there's a salary in that line, would a 3% already have been tacked on there?
If that's what they sent us, then that should have been tacked
But-
on. We
We
don't.
Did they give you a total dollar amount? They gave you
The
34,
557.
557.
Yes.
That's what's on there.
Yes.
That's the
1.5,
DMB
because
contribution
in here, that's where we have,
plus the $1,000.
right.
So how come the?
I would say we've got to do the 34,557 plus the extra for the,
Yeah,
yep,
it's 1,500, yeah.
yep, that would bring us up to 36,050.
Yeah.
And that would,
I
that
think
would do
that's
it for
right.
us.
And we can check with them.
We might not have the $7 in there, but you
You
know,
know, the total
but it-
between that and the rec partnership is the rec partnership
Well, rec
is
partnership.
19,785.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we got that.
Right, 19,785 is in there.
That we
That's
already
in the
have
budget.
that.
Yep.
But what?
yep,
We can double check and make sure
35,557,
it's
it
right.
looks like that's what it is, and then we're gonna add some more, but wait a minute.
But why was the?
Can I see that?
Oh, you know
Added
what, the other
15
thing is,
instead of
the thing
1,000.
that's not in here is the MOU for the
Yeah.
summer employment.
So the
That's,
36,
that's, I guess, something's missing, because last
I
year
know,
we spent
that's what I'm
34,
saying.
545.
That's
No,
what they've been
no, we
saying.
didn't spend that. That was budgeted. We only had,
No,
No, we
$30,000 of the budget, 34. is
oh,
what we spent.
34,
34, 5.
24. Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, so,
Well, we-
34, 5 doesn't add anything to that, and.
We
and
did
it's like-
extra.
That's
We-
what I wasn't.
Was it this year or in 24 that we
it might have
paid
been that we
extra?
paid extra. They
for
came
the-
up with that
for the-
billing. They had something.
Well, I mean, I think what's missing
Something
is what
unique.
Catherine just pointed out, the youth employment.
That's
It's
not in
it's a
here.
separate item.
It says attaches the summary sheet, consolidates all the numbers. Please note, rec partnership and town of Danby scholarships are not. Youth services department contract with the town. In the, I don't, does that mean that's not included? The MOU for the,
Right,
It's
it
the
sounds like
youth
it's not,
bureau.
because it did, that was on top.
does this mean enough
For
to
the
you?
county's device fees.
Well, I guess we need to figure
increase
that
from
out.
Town of Danby
Right.
in 2026.
So we don't even have that MOU yet. And that would be
How much did we spend last
Okay,
year?
well,
on youth,
Yeah,
the youth
youth
jobs.
employment.
where
We-
was it? What line item was it in
We don't, I
last
didn't
year?
even
I
see.
think it's all lumped together and it's.
7330.4. A 7330.4,
Right,
and anything that we paid, we would have paid out of that.
Right,
We should break this down. It would make it a lot
Yeah.
easier.
yeah.
right, what down?
Into
Just
these
the
components,
lines.
into the
So
youth
scholarship,
scholarships,
Well,
Yeah.
there's a huge
Yeah.
other email
youth
here.
employment, and
And then when
and
anybody.
youth
let's see,
services.
where was the other one?
Can you send me those emails
Yes,
and then I can
yes,
print them off?
Yes, I
Then,
could
uh,
ask them, I could go.
And we
I
could-
could print
Do you-
one off so we could see it.
do you remember, Laura, what we spent on the youth,
That'd be good.
employment?
The MOU is usually
I don't remember that.
5,000 something.
It could be. It was it's a meaningful chunk. It's matching money,
So
but
if they went
nevertheless,
3% more,
Well, it
Of the-
looked like
of the
that was
base cost.
included in
Okay.
34,557,
the youth employment,
3605.
The 3%.
the 3% increase, yeah. And-
in the youth services, but not in the
Yeah.
youth
in the
employment is a
youth
separate,
commission.
a separate line, I think.
I don't know, she's gonna go print it off. Anyway, I mean, it's an item that, it'd be nice to have it split out a little bit,
Absolutely.
and maybe we can
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just get more info on that one.
and then ask them to do it that way each year, because every
Yes.
year this happens
They
this
send
way.
it, they send
They
it to
send it
us.
in little pieces of
Yeah.
stuff, so then we can't
Yeah,
really decipher it too much.
I mean, it is.
Every year,
complicated, 'cause
every year it comes to a complication.
Yeah.
Yes, and there's their stuff and there's our stuff and, but for our purposes, we need to have the total and it'd be good to have it
Right.
separated out, so we
Right.
know
Right.
what's going to what.
I did have another question on the rec partnership one. That was the
Okay.
contractual.
Okay.
It went up last year, but doesn't seem we spent that much.
Rec partnership.
This year.
What's the line item on that again? Let's see, USD.
Yeah. went up 400 or whatever, 450.
Yeah, that's the number Marnie gave us.
Library historian.
No, no, the contractual one, the last, very
Right.
last line.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry, I'm
last
sorry.
year-
No, 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 the Jennings Pond program,
Oh, Jennings
Okay,
Pond
talking about
program.
James Bond.
Yeah, we had 5,000 and under the lifeguards, they didn't spend. I need to check.
We only
that
had one
out.
lifeguard instead of two.
Right, you had one lifeguard. Last year, so they didn't actually spend that, and also last year, they didn't spend as much in their contractual line item either. But this year in 2025, it's gonna go up because they started at $24.82 an hour.
Right.
But we know what it costs
So
us.
it went
but-
over,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the lifeguards. I'm looking at contractual.
the contractual.
The last one.
I think maybe they thought that they were going to have. Every so many years, they have to replace boards, they have to replace all of this different life-saving equipment.
mhm, mhm.
So maybe they thought they were doing that
The
this year.
lines.
And they just had this, and they put it in there too, because if they do get a new lifeguard, they has to have a new certification. But they used the same lifeguard this year that they used the year before, so they didn't have to have all new training thing for that person. So I think that's the reason why we just sort of keep it there. And then if they do use more in their lifeguard, we can move it around, which we did move some around this year. We took some
Yeah.
out to
Mhm.
cover that overage.
And we're not, we spent $6,200 this year with just one lifeguard, right?
No, we spent $7,085 this year.
We budgeted
We
62. we
budgeted
spent 7.
6,200.
Yeah.
We spent 7,085 for one lifeguard.
And that was one lifeguard.
Mhm.
But 2 lifeguards doesn't double that, it just.
Well,
reduces
Two
that.
thousand twenty-five.
What they're gonna do, what she said is, she said, bring it up to 7,000, she said, because what we're gonna do, if you can keep it like around the same, I'll try to keep it with the same hours, so.
Right,
The
same hours.
one hour,
Divide-
lifeguard won't get as
divide.
many hours as he got the year before, and she'll split up the hours. She'll-
We only have one lifeguard in 2025.
In 2020, yep.
Yeah, we had one, yeah.
Okay.
One.
Way
I
in
thought it was
Montgomery.
one in 24.
We had one in 24 also,
Okay.
the same one, actually.
We're paying, we were just paying a whole lot more this
We
year.
were paying a lot more this year, yeah.
Okay.
But the variable is if we have another lifeguard, we have to train him. We might have to train him. So
And
that-
there- so we've got that contractual money
Yeah.
there if it does go over and
To do
whatever
that
we have to
with.
do. And if the fees go up, those Red Cross fees and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
right, we pay for that too. So, coming back to page 7. Notice that the Danby Community Park. There's only $8,200 in the budget.
I talked to Pamela about this, okay,
Mhm.
at Danby Community Park, and been communicating with her. She said they were kind of still working on it, but she thinks it's gonna stay around the same. She thinks the 8,300 is gonna stay around the same, but they haven't really got it done
Good.
quite
We have
yet.
to
It might go up a
budget.
little bit or
Yeah,
whatever,
the budget
but
is
she
good.
said,
Make it good.
it's a safe guess that for now, put the 8,300.
Granddaughter Bethany's living in my.
So
old
whether you wanna
house.
call them in to talk
Yeah.
to them about what they're
Yeah.
thinking
And this
about
area.
mowing and all that other
I
stuff.
gave that
I'm
to
thinking, you know how sometimes you guys
Mama.
call in certain departments?
Yeah.
That might be one
Where
of
are you
them,
staying?
again, to call somebody
Right.
and to talk about what they're
Down in the
doing.
grove house meetings.
And to see if they for truly
Yeah.
want 8,300 if they're asking
Been
for more.
there going on 6 years now.
Cause in 2024, they asked for more.
Good.
2025, we kept it the same, but still they didn't spend it. They came in under.
Right.
Yeah,
Some of their,
well under.
but they have to, so that's when Joel and I were talking about it, that one might be one you might wanna call in to sit and talk with you from the Danby community. Danby Community and Park.
The question I had was,
Stupid.
okay, now we have a combined organization. What's different?
Right.
Because all they've asked for is the money to support the park.
Well, that's all they should be asking. for.
That's correct, that's
Because
correct.
we weren't funding,
Yeah, we were.
a little bit, we were.
We were funding liability insurance.
No, that's the park, for the park.
Well, we were doing it for DCC. We
We
were paying,
didn't give them anything.
when,
Not last year, no, we didn't, that's correct.
not last year, they did it without us, but in the past we had.
We gave them 100,
And they've
Spent
already said, the park
133
has
and
already
24
said, they
in the 2
don't
years
wanna do
before that.
that.
We didn't-
Why are you insisting that
we
they
were
do
giving,
it?
we were giving nothing.
What?
We were giving them nothing.
That's correct, all last year.
No,
That
I
was
shouldn't
2
say
years.
that.
2
I
years.
mean, they were budgeted, if the budget was $600. No, that's what, I'm sorry, West Danby.
No, I mean, we dropped,
Where are
we
we?
took DCC
One right
out
above
because they
it,
don't
West Danby
exist
Community
in
Association.
No, I don't.
7340.4.
No, that's a community park and,
Danby Community
Um,
Park. We took the, Danby Community Council used to have its own line.
right,
We took it out because it doesn't exist anymore,
no. Well, yeah, you're right. Okay,
okay?
okay, the community, Danby Community,
It's still kind of there on the bottom of page 6,
the
but it's 0.
community
It's still
council.
there. I thought
In
it was supposed to get deleted.
2023, it was 0.
So
What?
just the regular hunting license?
Danby Community Council was,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
was
supposed to take that
0
out.
in 2023.
Yeah.
And 24,
Yes,
and 25,
That's
and
right.
26.
right.
We weren't funding the community council.
3 years now, it's not
Right.
just 1 year, it's
No,
not
it's
just
3
a
years.
little change.
Yeah,
No, it's ever
Right,
since
3
they
years.
decided that they could live without us.
right,
Right.
right. So,
This was supposed to come out, Laura, you forgot to take it out. Wait a minute,
No,
what do we,
Calendar.
73, 10.4.
We can delete it from the budget.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We did talk about that, didn't we?
73.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, we can take it right out.
Where?
But anyway,
At the
this
bottom
does
of page
show,
six.
the reason it was there was
I
to
don't
show
have
the
this in-
history.
To show the history that the last time we
Page
had anything
six.
was 2022.
Oh, it's spelled wrong. Sorry. It's at the top of my other page.
It is wrong, yes.
I'm sorry, I got it.
No, that's too funny.
CE.
Okay.
But we're
so, I
taking it
mean,
out, so we don't have to spell
Yeah,
it.
so that could actually, well, we
Yeah,
use the
we'll
history.
take it right. Joel noticed that too.
I mean, we
Take
could use
that out of there.
But that's okay. And the next year it would be, maybe we should wait and take it out when it's all a zero.
Well, the
I
thing
don't know.
doesn't exist anymore, so you might as well take it out of the budget.
Well,
Well, the
it's a
community
history.
park does have its own line now,
Community
so
Yes,
there is no
correct.
more community
Right.
council period.
Right, so that's why I suggested taking that line out,
Okay.
to get it out. So the question I
Right.
raised, and I'm raising it now, to decide whether we want to talk to them about it, was whether or not the combination of these two organizations has made any difference in terms of what they aspire to do, and that we might choose to fund if they were to be interested in doing it. The things that the Danby Community Council used to do with town money before they stopped asking us for money.
They said no to us in the meeting.
They said no.
They said they were, well, they said, but this year, all we asked for was support for the park. So what they didn't want the contract to say, imply that they were being asked to do and they're funded to do something that they aren't planning on doing and hadn't asked for any money for. This is a new year. I'm asking the question, okay, going forward, could we not add to the contract with Danby Community and Park provisions that reflect stuff that the Danby Council used to do once upon a time before 2023, that we might be willing to fund if they were interested in doing it?
There might be another way to do those things, Joel.
Mhm.
And one of them is to have, as Brad Roush had mentioned once, maybe we could have a community arts program in Danby. And somebody else, and then I'm thinking that a lot of the nature type things, if there could be an arm of the CAC that could present problems.
Cool.
Or the youth group.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Like we've
yeah,
had the
right.
moss things or the
Yeah.
rock things, those could come out of, an arm of some other.
I hate to beat a dead horse, but I hear what you're saying. You're more generous than I. I haven't seen any new bylaws. I haven't seen any kind of a budget. I know absolutely nothing about what the new group does or aspires to do. I
And
don't,
then-
I don't even want to consider until I see those things.
Not only
I don't-
that, they could change when new people get onto the park and then a new board,
Could.
park board may then come and say, we want to do some of these community programs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they might make sense for the park, but there's nothing wrong with the town. It looks really good for the town to be doing some really nice things also. So,
We don't have to assume that all that stuff has to come through the park.
correct.
No, you don't
Especially
have
if
to
it's
assume
being
that it
held
has to
in.
fall.
And if we budget it through there, then we assume that it's coming through there and we don't have any options for anything else. That's a bad idea.
Well, and a lot
No.
of those things could be the lectures and things and piano concerts are done in here anyway. If
Well,
we
it
were
used to
to do
be.
something. Well, they could be.
It could be.
I just think we need more information about the new agency, like you said.
Well, that's what I was fishing for, was to
You know,
say, should we have a conversation that says, okay, it's a new day, we have a new organization.
No, I don't
Is
want,
it gonna have a broader vision of itself than just the park? Or not?
I went to the meeting,
no.
the annual meeting.
Yeah,
We sat here in the meeting. It was very clear that relationship does not exist anymore. And that the
They don't want it
future
to.
of it,
you don't want it to.
right. To me, that was very clear.
And I don't think we should be forcing it.
I don't
on them.
either.
Let them do it. That's,
And if they decide to do something and then come back and ask for it, then it's a new discussion.
correct.
I don't.
And it's
I
their
think-
choice, not ours.
Right.
I think I was looking to make that clear. Because when the two organizations, prior to the two organizations combining, we were given assurances that what the DCC used to do the new organization would also do.
And great,
You know, so how is that reflected in their aspirations for the combined organization?
maybe
That-
it's.
that-
When I tried to
It's up
put
to
something
them.
into the contract
Up to
that
them.
reflected a broader scope, it said, well, let's not put it in now because we didn't ask for it this year, and to put it in now would imply that we're expected to do these things.
But you were putting it in. They weren't putting it in. You were forcing it on them.
Right.
Let them do it.
I wasn't forcing anything on anybody.
Bringing up the subject.
I was
Yeah.
bringing up the subject, and I'm trying to bring it up now.
Yeah.
And you're saying that, you know, if they're not interested,
Let it go.
let it go.
It sounds like.
I don't have enough
I just,
information.
the only thing this would do is clarify that it isn't on, because we don't want to do, to enable it or fund it, it's because they don't want us to.
I
That's
wouldn't-
part of
I
it.
don't think it's worth doing that particular conversation.
That's not, that's mean.
Right,
That's
and
mean.
it sounds like one of your favorite phrases, I'm not convinced. You're not convincing me.
Uh-huh.
I think this one's a let it go.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, you know, if that door is closed, which most people here seem to think it is, then we should be looking to others, you know, other places to do it, and if so, where and how?
And how do we have, well, that's.
And we've got, you know, there's a line for the West Danby Community Association.
I mean,
which
what's
is
missing?
barely
Where are they, I
existing.
mean, they're doing music.
They're doing these things now, just not doing it with town support, but they're
Yeah.
not doing them here either.
Right.
By their,
That's
by their
because
choice.
it works better where it is. It's a better
Well, they-
size and a better room.
He was not interested in having anything at town hall.
I think that was an excuse rather than a
No,
rationale.
no. Oh, it is not an excuse. It is not an excuse. I've been in both places. It is a better place for those
I don't
events.
like going there, I will say that.
I
I
think
do
this is
miss
a-
having things here, I
Yeah.
will admit.
This
I
is a-
did.
Especially in the winter.
Yes,
The acoustic here is better for concert.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, it is.
That's, no, it's not. We've said before, it's hard even to do, we
In the
put
meetings,
stuff on
it's
the
really
window and
bad,
all that kind of
but,
stuff.
but musical, the musicians
music-
say it's
A resident space,
beautiful.
it's just to be a church.
Yeah.
A
Where?
resident space is
Here.
better for music.
yes,
Musicians say it's wonderful here,
yeah,
but meeting wise and stuff it is not.
No, I mean, you know, the same resonant space that's
It's a
great for
different-
music
yeah.
is crummy for speech.
I just heard that the other night.
well, I'll tell you one thing, it was horrible when we had that opera singer soprano. We decided never to do that again,
Here,
yes. I mean, people,
Why, because it's too loud?
the windows cracked?
it was a soprano, and people were covering their.
Yeah,
All the other opera singers and everything.
She was an
they
opera
were
singer, yes.
Soprano, because the voice
yeah.
is too high, it was, we're all like, oh my
I'd rather
God.
come to some of these. I haven't been to any of these.
But, you know, I mean, this is an intimate, nice setting for some of
Yeah.
these things, and that's. And I probably could get Dave Streeter to come and do a concert anytime, you would just, name it, I'd get it.
Yeah,
And, he did a classical concert.
You
Okay.
got Naomi's
well, we beat another. dead
piano
horse.
sitting unused, but.
Right.
So we're gonna keep the Danby Community and Park at 8,300?
Yeah.
And you're gonna call them in or
No,
to talk?
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
there's no
want to.
point if they're not interested.
yeah, I'm not interested. I mean, maybe somebody else is.
If they submit something and they ask for more,
Yeah.
then you can go from there.
Right.
we
Right.
Decide.
Then they can come in.
That's right. It
I
makes,
don't think they'll want to come in. They'll do a Zoom.
they want to have autonomy.
Yeah, yeah,
And at this point, I think we just say, okay,
yeah,
period, say,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I don't think it makes any sense, but it's their choice.
yeah, yeah.
You know, if
West
we,
Danby, $600, that enough?
if we go back to this youth thing, though, I was just looking this over.
Right, I'm glad you looked.
In this youth
Yeah.
thing here, I believe that employment is included in that
That's what I
figure.
That one section.
Because,
Yeah,
yes,
because of the,
because, yes,
Maybe with.
that 34,557 is here.
Oh, yes, it's.
Yeah.
And you can see with the 34,557 here, okay? And
Oh, wow.
that includes this youth, where is it that you say, right
because we're
here?
missing the
The
$1,000.
10,814 in the youth costs.
Where are we
Well, where,
putting the
but I
1,000?
saw the $10,000 for the MOU for the youth employment.
Oh. But on the page.
This says, oh, this is five
Went up to what,
lots.
$400. It's not quite 300 and some odd.
Because the total expenses, 56,692.
Yeah, it looks like,
Where do we put the scholarships?
56,692.
We added those.
We
That-
added
that-
we added this, they-
Five, the
yeah.
10,814 is here.
yes.
The 10,814 is right here, which is that youth funding.
Okay, so
The
is it-
MOU?
That 10,814, which is right here, on here, paying for 5 youth
Yes, where-
placements,
where are you seeing the total?
10,814.
it
And
comes
it's
up to be one of
also-
these numbers?
And it's also right, where is it? Right here.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
See it? Under the funding, 10,814. It
Yeah,
brings
that's
it
what
to
I just-
67,857. And then when you split that around,
Oh,
out
yeah.
for the revenue, 34,557 is Danby and 33,300 is the county.
So it does include the
So
MOU.
it does include
Oh, it
that.
does, okay.
I think it does.
So
include
this,
that.
Yeah,
this.
it
So if we went
included-
34,557 plus the 1,500 in the scholarships, we got the number right here,
Yes.
the 36,050.
Okay.
What
Cool.
accounts-
I think we're set with that.
What accounts for the difference between the county funding and the town funding? Is that the, operating funds for the youth commission?
I don't think we should look at.
It's
Whatever they come up
$1,200,
with.
that's their gross.
For whatever they've budgeted for
Everybody-
that they're
Remember
splitting out for
bringing
Danby.
It's a question you ask
Bill,
them, not
Bill
us.
had a terrible time.
I
We-
remember Asher
was
doing
trying to
it.
explain it, and sometimes Kate says it's very hard to figure out how they do that stuff.
They probably had their budget of what they were gonna kick in for this youth. And then they go with percentages here and there, and Danby's portion is the 33,3.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a formula.
So that, yeah.
Well,
they're
34,500.
Then you plug it into the formula.
Now, the 34,557 is what is left over for the budgeted expenditures. So they come up with what all the budgeted expenditures are gonna be, which is 67,857. Take out the county portion, and the amount for us is the 34,557.
You could.
Minus, and that doesn't include your scholarships that you wanna put in.
Right,
Minus the scholarships.
right.
So if you wanna put in then, so they got it down here, 34,557, plus your scholarships of 1,000, plus the rec partnership, so the total is 55,342. But we're gonna go from the 1,000 and put in 1,500 for the scholarships, just in
Right.
case, because last year you decided to give a few
Yeah,
more.
about 1,500.
Yeah. about
We rounded
15.
it up, so.
Yes. Yes.
So
So the 36,050.
It was what we talked about already. and it
Yes, we already
stays,
talked
and
about-
it keeps everything.
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
the 34,557 has everything that they want. Plus-
Yes, and then they.
And add 1,000.
And then add the
A little
1,000.
more than
And we
1,000.
want to maybe have a little bit more.
It is a little more than that. That's why it's
Five-
36.50.
So we're okay with the 36 then.
Yep,
30.
That makes sense.
$6,050.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Well, I feel better about that. That's good.
The library has not spent all that money, but I assume that's just an in case again.
Where's that?
The very next
Yeah,
thing.
3,000.
After what?
After,
Oh, after the West End.
yeah,
Yeah. We still don't have a contract with West End. And haven't given them any money. We haven't given them any money this year. They have
West End?
accumulated bills, but no disbursements
do a
without a
picnic this
contract.
year?
Yeah. They've accumulated bills, but they haven't been reimbursed because we don't have a contract yet.
And have they
Yeah.
turned any in?
Because they haven't turned one in. They have to agree, and one of the people has to agree. We haven't agreed on who's going to sign the contract on behalf of the group. So that they can
You
say,
mean we, the West Danby Association?
yeah,
Not we, the town board.
no. So I mean, but I can't bring it to the board until they say, okay. You know,
I think you just back out of it and tell them, pick one of you,
yeah,
and don't you do it.
let them do it.
And then tell them, see if they wanted to, if
And
they.
submit all the
West Danby-
receipts and everything.
Yeah,
Get
I
'em
mean,
submitted.
I've told the others, until
Well, maybe
we have
they
a
start
contract,
interested.
we can't reimburse you for your.
Yeah. Did they lose receipts or something?
Well, they got all the receipts and stuff.
Oh.
They're all ready to go. It's just that they need to.
They
say,
need to do
"Hey,
this
I'm
contract
I mean,
thing.
The contract's all
Who is
drafted.
it that does most of the buying stuff?
Oh, we spread around. Peter does some of the buying, Pat does some of the buying. Todd's a contract,
Todd?
some of the buying. Yeah. I think he got the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could I could ask
When
Todd
was the
to
last one?
get that done.
Did they,
And last year, all we did was the picnic.
Yeah,
but last year, did they have the contract last year?
no.
Yes.
Oh, they did?
So they can just use the same one.
Well,
But the contract's all drafted. They just have to agree to it.
They just have to agree.
It's okay.
Gotcha.
I drafted it months ago, back in.
Do we have that up in Teams?
Hmm?
Maybe
That
they
might
didn't
even
like
be
the
up in
word.
Teams right now.
It probably is.
It's probably under
I-
contracts on Teams.
Oh, look, yeah.
If you see
I
that,
remember.
and if
It's
they just
there.
sign it. and say this is
25,
what we're doing.
2025 draft, WDCA contract. It's there. I put it together in April.
Okay,
So if we keep $600 there for
Yeah.
them,
Anyway,
the
it's okay.
same, that ought to be okay.
yeah.
If the
Now,
group
your
doesn't fold out
question
together.
about the library too.
No, yeah, you had a question with library?
Yeah, it's like we're putting in 3,000 and they're using,
I mean,
Maybe
back in,
They bought a bunch of
back in
stuff last year.
22,
They spent less than $2,000
Yeah.
last year, 1888, the number's down here.
Mm-hmm,
1515 and then 2647 the year before.
yeah.
Only 267 so far this year.
could we even
they
get
probably got a
another?
bunch of stuff they're sitting there waiting to submit. It's probably. what
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
I just wonder if we could get away with 2,500, but
Did they
They sent in a request.
they send a
They sent
request
in
to keep
something and
it?
said to keep it the same.
That's fine.
okay,
Which one are we looking at?
okay.
The library,
Historian salary,
Oh, this is something Joel,
that's something I said.
it's
too.
been
Joel-
zero, so now it's
Well, in the past, we haven't pulled out. Like an honorarium for the history.
Right. And we should have.
I think we should.
Well, we did.
we've usually only had 7510.4, that one line item budgeted $1,000.
Right.
Joel got saying, well, have they turned in stuff to be paid? Have they, what has happened? And remember, we had that situation several years ago that everything happened.
Sort of.
So Joel was just thinking, maybe we ought to
Block it
just set
out.
something aside that we're gonna pay the historian with a 0.1 account, which is
Yeah.
the salary. account.
Right.
And then put in a contractual amount just to make it more clear
Yeah.
as to what's going on.
Yeah, no, I picked up on that. That was good.
And she actually gets it whether she spends any money on any stuff or not.
What did you say?
And she actually gets $1,000 whether she buys any stuff or
Right.
spends any additional money in contractual.
But it is good what you guys did establish for a position.
She's been
That
spending.
they come in at least once a year and tell you guys what they've been working on and
Yeah.
what they've been
Which
doing.
you should do.
Before
But-
she consider a voucher for the $1,000.
To be fair, that she is getting paid. She does some historian things while she's getting paid to do what is she getting paid to do?
Management
Records,
stuff.
records
she
and
gets paid for
stuff.
that.
So she's getting paid.
What line is she getting
But
paid
not
out
as,
of?
but not as a historian.
She's getting
Yeah,
paid.
she does historian stuff.
Yeah,
What
okay.
is she
She
getting-
meets with
What's she getting
people and
Line is
and
she getting
talks.
paid out of?
Well, I mean, she does historian stuff, but are you paying her for that
Paid
time?
them.
yeah,
Hold on.
she gets paid.
Yeah,
She's doing
I wanna know what
historian.
line.
Shouldn't
Out
be
of
doing that.
the, yeah, she's getting paid then out of that,
Yeah, the
Town clerk.
assist, town clerk, whatever,
line that.
the assistant.
Project assistant.
That's what I
Project
thought.
assistant,
Okay,
yes.
yeah, so Mary Ann and, okay,
But she shouldn't be.
right.
No. She should be.
No, she shouldn't be.
She
No,
should
it's
be
separate.
getting
You
paid
should
for
say-
that out of that account, not for the historian
She
stuff.
should
It's
be, when
separate.
she's doing historical stuff,
That's
she
right.
should be paid as a
That is
historian.
correct.
Right. Town
Okay,
historian.
I'll have her submit her hours. We will be ordering some more stuff for the archival stuff for the historian.
I mean, the
Historian or
archive.
the records management?
If we could just, when she does those things, Mariah,
Mhm.
time sheet, if she could just separate it out like Cindy does, what
Yep.
portion is for
Yep, we
planning,
can do that.
that'd be great. And then anything you buy that's really for the historian and not for
Right,
town clerk, so I would
right.
just separate it.
Yep.
And we can put that down.
I mean, the
Yep.
historian salary, it was an honorarium, it was $1,000 a year.
Whether you spend 2 hours or 200 hours.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
so can we call that take out salary there and put honorarium, so it doesn't,
That's a good.
I mean, I don't know what you, is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
If that's.
When
You
is
can
that
put
due to?
honorarium or stipend or whatever you wanna call it. Yeah, historian
That's
honorarium.
$500.
just to her taxes? I mean, is it counted income on?
Oh, to her taxes?
If
Her
it's all-
honorarium is
$1,000
$1,000.
of income.
And then contractual is
She would
that
have
she
to
can
do
spend on archival stuff and.
But then we don't have to do with withholding and all that crap.
Right.
It's a
just
huge difference.
if it's a salary, then you're paying out by the hour and you're having to do all
Right,
the other stuff.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right,
This is
okay,
not-
so.
An honorarium of $1,000
Yeah.
and the contractual that would be like for her postage or
$500,
for
whatever.
her whatever she
Yeah.
needs the archival boxes or needs this for the
Pages,
500.
Whatever, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that makes that line item, that makes that so much clearer.
Yeah, it needs to be separate.
Yeah.
Yes,
The seniors didn't ask for more.
they didn't ask for more. They
Okay,
just said the 7,500.
Okay,
You did. Oh, yes, code enforcement. I added, we have the code and administrative support. Collecting that Julia or whoever will spend some time helping out Steve in enforcement actions.
Remember that-
She's been doing that already, but just
Yeah.
recognizing that instead of having it be in the supervisor's line, it should be reflecting where it's actually getting used. And we would like it to be used. So it came out of there and came in here. No increase associated with it.
Right, just splitting it out into two different spots.
Mhm.
so we should see a lot of action coming out of that office.
Right,
For, let's see, 5, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 extra dollars technically. I mean, I know some of it's salary, but
Yeah, so if Julia does things for code, we gotta split it out the same way we do for Cindy as well. If she could do that, how many hours she's spending on
Yeah.
each thing.
mhm.
right.
It just makes it clear that,
Mhm,
where the money's coming from and what it's being used for.
mhm.
Yeah, we could point to it, say we're putting more money in for enforcement.
yeah, well. But it needs to be not just paperwork. If you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Um,
Well, I mean, as she said, Steve needs to direct. She can follow through his direction, but he's the one he's the code enforcement
right,
officer.
right,
We're down to June.
Yeah.
But if we were able to do that one on the 3 red cars, we could go straight to one to Danby, West Miller. We've got 3 unoperable.
oh, yeah,
cars.
yep,
What's that?
Yes, 3 inoperable cars, inoperable
Mhm.
cars. But
Yeah.
that's not all we want out of that one.
no,
Mm-mm.
well, we could ask the health department to go look.
They don't,
They
the
don't do
neighbors
that?
tried repeatedly
Well,
to try and get.
Try again, I mean, we'll just keep trying.
Yeah, there needs to be some evidence that this is something that might be a problem, that for the health department to want to get involved with.
Well, we ran into the same problem with the concert thing. Not big enough or whatever.
Or that one.
Well, maybe if a neighbor said they were.
Well, there's a
concerned about
health,
rats
if there's a
or-
health, right, exactly. If you've got garbage that would attract rats, that's a
Yeah.
different matter. than-
Right,
Anyway, we should. stay
okay,
on-
yeah, I know. It's so easy to get distracted,
Mhm.
okay,
Uh,
so,
And then
Danby seniors.
the rest is, the planning BCA is straightforward increases.
Planning, budget, admin support,
Mhm.
um,
That's,
it's been
Cindy.
79.62 and much less used over the last 4 years.
yeah, we keep hoping for more. Because I would like, I'd like to free up Greg's time, and it's a matter of whether it's, Cindy hasn't been willing to spend more time. But this could go to somebody else if we find
But
somebody.
this also could be, this is also, if you find out that code and administrative support needs more during the year, we can transfer some of that up over there.
okay, because.
It's kind of an experiment to see where it's gonna go.
Yeah,
To see where it's mostly gonna be spent, here or here. So you're talking about for code and administrative support and then planning support, you're talking about almost $16,000 in there to do that.
Mhm.
So where it's split out, time will tell
Yeah,
as you go.
you can move it
as
to
you
the
go.
other, but.
Yes,
There's also the possibility, and I talked to Greg about this, of, hiring some professional help to do some of the things that are on his plate. Because he's spread pretty thin. And he's only working 9 out of 12 months. In a year because of his leave.
Mhm.
So you can't get as much done in 9 months as you can in 12, no matter how dedicated you are.
This is next year's budget. Is he only working 9 months next year?
No,
Okay.
well, over the course of the time from July to
Yeah.
July,
June to
12 weeks. or
Half.
something.
Not a,
Yeah, so next year.
goes through half of next year.
Yeah.
I think he just should take work home with him, that's all.
Me too.
Oh, he's not there anymore. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Mariah's sleeping.
Well, I've made it clear that there's no, I'm perfectly comfortable with people working from home if they can and want to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna be doing
Well,
for a few
he's-
weeks.
I mean, it's
with
a
that.
he thing.
I can still use this and still use this, so I can keep up with bank recs. We can keep moving on the bank recs and make
Right.
sure they're right up there.
Yeah,
So that's what I plan on doing
Yeah, you can
that time.
get the, set up the mobile deposit so you can just have the checks deposited, you don't have to go anywhere. You can't drive, you're not allowed to drive.
I know it, not for
Right.
quite a long time.
Right.
Not for quite a long time, I do.
I can.
You could get
help
a,
you with
get
anything
an
that
electric bike.
provides advances to it.
Yeah,
electric
see
bike.
with that,
Yeah,
and a briefcase on the
I
back.
don't need a license for
Yeah,
that.
you should, you call the bank and see about getting a machine
Yeah.
without using.
And then using that picture.
The mobile,
That
yeah,
mobile thing.
Yep.
I've
yep,
been
yep.
doing really, really good at getting down there because I've had other things that I've had to do
yeah,
down there.
the mobile
meeting.
thing is, even
That
when you go
mobile thing I
downtown,
got.
it's still helpful.
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
yes, to do that,
And the bank
Um,
should have information about that.
yes.
so,
Actually,
the
that,
mowing contract, did you project this to the end to see whether the $7,000 is going to do it?
Where are we here?
That's
Cemeteries.
for,
Oh, the cemeteries? Yeah.
we were
Where are
short
cemeteries?
last year, but.
What account number is that?
8810.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
let's check. Oh, okay, I'm right here, at the bottom here. Well, we were short last year.
Well.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna do it.
It's gonna be
Okay.
close,
It's gonna probably be close.
but he didn't
But
increase.
boy, has it ever been beautiful out there, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's
you know,
been
it's
mowing,
gonna be
he's been
beautiful
mowing
through
regularly.
October.
Um,
It's been mowing regularly.
So I mean, it's a little tight, because I think
Did
he didn't increase year over year, his bid. So the only increase is in how many mowings he does, which is the big driver.
Right,
You think we
and
should put another
it was
500 in
wet
that?
in,
in the spring,
in the spring, yeah,
and then it's been dry.
and it was dry, so he maybe mowed a little bit less, but, I think it's a little tight,
Think we should go maybe 7,500 on that one,
or even 8, but.
or even
Yeah,
8.
if gasoline, who knows what that's gonna do.
Well, I mean, I think the probability it'll stay the same another year is kind of slim.
add 500.
Add 1,000, you think? Just put it up to 8,000?
I would add 1,000.
Yeah.
We don't
Okay.
spend it, we don't,
Okay.
it's appropriation, it's not expenditure.
You've gone through this and not really added too much of anything.
No.
We've added some on the youth one and this 1,000 here on
Yeah,
this
that's
one,
2,000.
but not on very many of them, other than moving stuff around.
Right.
So,
It's okay.
you know, it's not like this meeting has resulted in
Huge tax
thousands
increase.
and huge increase in anything. So
Well, I
thus
don't-
far, you know
We
what I
haven't
mean?
Talked about electricity, and I don't know where that comes, and maybe I missed people to talk about it, but increase the NICEAG is allowed to keep raising, I think it's another
Delivery rate.
30, it was like 60% over 2 years.
Right.
And it's hideous,
62%.
right, and the air source heat pumps still use it, but they're, and then the solar panels, but anyway, I don't know where.
Yeah, so that's a supply cost. We save on the supply side, but we have no control over the delivery cost.
Right,
And that's what NICEAG is.
right,
Under contractual utilities, they're under contractual,
What number, what?
1620.4.
Yeah, the 1620.4, as you see, we've got, we budget 32,000. In 2024, we used 26,000. So far in 2025, we've got 12,000 that we're using. And I think it's because a lot is coming through okay with our little grid out here for the town hall too. And for any of this, and our electricity and everything, we don't really run our expenses through this line item. I put them through the 5132.4. That's because we're separating that all out. And we're
Right.
using that as that for the fire department, the water district, to everybody. So that 5132.4 is where we're seeing that. And we
Where's-
put it in the garage
where
because
is it
there's such
here?
a good, what's that, huh?
I don't see it here at all.
5132.4 is on
Oh,
page
51.
6.
A 5132.4.
Is
But
what,
the 1620.4 is the electricity just for this building. And that's been down because of
yeah,
this out here. So if you see like what's here, we've got a budget of 32,000. And so far this year, up until the end of August, we've only used 12,000 of that 32,000 for trash, utilities, alarm systems.
Oh, yeah,
So
it's
the
not
utilities
just
cleaning.
electricity.
so what utilities are included? It doesn't include electricity.
It includes
That includes
electricity just for
electricity.
this building.
Oh.
It does include electricity for this
Yeah.
building.
I don't see those numbers. I must be looking.
Right here.
wrong.
1620.4,
Oh, well, I don't know, it's right under.
page 4.
It's right under buildings.
But it doesn't
Awesome.
include, it doesn't
60, not
include
50.
electricity.
Right.
No,
For electricity.
1620.4 is just this building.
That's
The
5132.
5132.4 is where
The
I'm running
rest of it.
that all through because we do our calculations to split out our billing for
Yeah.
the fire department, the water district,
Right.
that type of thing. So I think that there's enough in there with the 32,000 to cover it.
Where's the balance of electricity? Is in what? 51.
5132.4.
5132.4
Against garage contractual?
under, yep, that we're just running it through there because we need a line item to run all this billing coming in and out, et cetera, et cetera.
But that's not in the parentheses here for garage.
Garbage, heat, we got heat, cool solvent, heat, water additives, garbage safety. I mean, we
And
could put it,
electricity.
we could put electric in there.
But you're saying that we should add, we could conceivably, that's garage.
Yeah,
And the electric is in there.
we're just saying we should just pick
Add
that
the word
word.
That's a
electricity.
kind
Yeah.
of peculiar place.
Just add
Well,
yeah.
list of things.
It seems like a peculiar way to account for it, doesn't it?
It's for the garage.
Well,
and-
it's.
Well,
a
it's
lot
not
of
just
it
for the garage, it's for the
garage.
garage, for the water district.
And it
Right.
goes in
But
and out.
it comes in and out. I'm using it to go in and out with billings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when the electric or when the fire department pays us
Mhm.
for their electricity, I go and go back up against that 5132.4. I
Mhm.
go back up against it. So in other
It's
words,
not
we might
our,
pay it out.
we're
of
not
that.
paying it.
We pay it out, we pay our investment out of it,
Right.
okay, for that. But
Mhm.
then when we get the money back, I put that back into this.
Yeah.
Right.
So that it negates that expense. So then what's left is the garage,
Which is,
That's the difference, so to speak.
which is under garage.
right, which is
Yeah.
under garage.
But
That's
nobody
why
would
I'm
know
using
that
this
unless you're
way.
told. There's no way.
Right,
that they can
exactly.
just-
It seems like
And
it's
we
not.
could do a
not-
separate spreadsheet just
Yeah,
showing.
it would make
is
it
all.
helpful.
But
And we
this,
do have that. Oh, actually, I've already got those spreadsheets.
Yeah.
When we separate out the billing.
but this is, in terms of the budget, this is electric for the garage. The other things come in and out. They are not part
Yeah.
of this
I
budget.
understand.
And what Catherine is saying, and what I would say as well, is that we ought to have some
Separate account for
accounting
those other
for
things.
where, where the electricity gets dealt with.
I have all that. I can
Yeah, she has-
provide that all to you.
The only reason I'm saying it, it's not because of budget. I'm saying it because the main thing is when people ask us
Yeah.
and they look at the budget and they don't see it or they don't understand it. So if they could see the
I'll give
analysis of
it,
that.
I'll give you guys some of
Yeah.
that. We'll work on putting something together
Yeah.
that's gonna be usable.
Yeah.
for you.
Well, you say the money comes in and comes out, goes out elsewhere. Where does the money come in? For delivery?
No,
Where is
no.
it, no, where is it in the budget?
What fire department
I
pays,
don't see
the
that.
fire department will pay.
The
So in
fire
other
department
words,
pays for their part. Who pays for the water district.
Water, they do.
Yes, but, and that's in the water district budget.
And that's in the water
Yeah.
district budget, and that'll come in here. Now, last year I gave them
I guess that
one
counts for-
invoice
Mm.
that had
Yes.
all of their amount that they approved for me to transfer from the water district back in here,
Okay,
Right.
okay?
okay. So it is accounted, it's accounted for, this accounts for the garage.
Yes, this counts for the garage. When it all nets out together,
And the town hall's in 61, in
that's right, the
1620.
town hall's
Right,
1620.4,
right,
because
they're
that comes in on
separated
a
out.
separate billing.
Yes, and the water district is accounted for.
Because of this
Okay,
out here,
got it.
Right, right.
up there, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
You Kevin have it?
Street lighting,
I'm just, no, I'm not writing anything. I'm just thinking, all I ever think about is when people ask me questions about something, where is this in here, I can't help.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough at it. So I'll tell them, ask Laura. Ask Leslie. Ask Leslie.
Yeah, make up something.
So the employee benefits are all pretty much adding on what we know to be.
yes, except the increase in the
So,
hospital. medical.
Yeah, you were saying now, you said it increased dramatically, but it was 130 and then 130 and then 149 down and up. Did it go down and up, or did you?
It went
That
down
budget
in
last-
2025, it
It
went
did.
down. We went, but the price of it didn't go down. But when I took into consideration what employees we were gonna have,
Yeah, right,
then we figured it out based on those employees that we were
right.
gonna
And so
have.
now we have
And
more employees now.
And now what it is we've got,
You got 18% increase.
what we're gonna have is our new town clerk
Yes,
is gonna want a family policy. I checked that out.
okay,
He's gonna be getting married
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna ask for a family policy.
more employees. Okay, so
So
basically it's
right
more
now,
employees.
Mariah has a single
Richard.
policy.
Yeah.
And then when he's married, it'll be an additional 2,000 a month onto that insurance.
makes
So it's
Big-
primarily additional employees on the insurance is what this increase,
Additionally insured,
additionally, yeah.
yes,
And that's the primary
an
reason for
increase.
the increase, not,
yes.
okay,
Where's
There's that increase plus adding on the 18%.
yeah.
in
Where's
the
the
rate.
health?
Right.
in
The
the
health
rate.
insurance is in here too, right?
Yes, hospital, medical and dental
Yeah,
insurance.
so it's 18% plus a change in status.
That's what you just said.
Well, no, you figure out what the change in status is and everything. What I've done is I've taken each one of these employees.
Yeah.
And I put the new rate in there,
Right, which is 18% more than we,
18% of what it
Plus a
was,
new person.
plus another 2,000 extra a month in there.
right,
Plus the increases I've got in there for yours,
right.
for what you have, which we gotta
I gotta-
We
I
gotta
gotta nail that
tweak
down.
that a little bit, make sure
Well,
it
I
was
think we should
accurate as
think
we
about
could.
that.
And we, that
I
was
really
accurate in
fine
that, you
tune
know,
that one.
and. And
Maybe
the
we wanna
increase for, a
reconsider.
little bit of an increase
Don't have a
for,
budget yet.
Keith's as well, because Keith's come out of there.
Mhm.
So what we pay for that, so that comes out to the 149,000, somewhere in that neighborhood.
It's in the
Wow.
ballpark anyway.
Yeah, in the ballpark. Drug and alcohol testing, we left the same.
Yeah.
Other budgetary provisions would be if you wanted to go to the public for money to put in any of these reserves. But you've got enough added to
We
your
have,
fund balance. that
Yeah.
we
Because
could-
we
Need to
try,
talk about that in
we're
it.
avoiding creating
Right.
dedicated reserves.
Right, so we don't want to do that.
Yes. So then the next thing in the general fund is looking at the revenues coming in. We're increase in the property tax. We're just going down through here. Take a look at the interest line, A2401. Okay, so far this year, we've received $35,000, 35.5 in interest in there, okay? So, and that's just so far this year. So if we just said 30,000, put it in there to be conservative in case rates go down.
Right, that
That might
probably is
be-
conservative.
Yes, interest on the reserves as well. So we've been conservative with that 3,000. Then the rest of the stuff, we've kind of left the same. We're coming down here, refund, I don't ever put anything in there for that, but the state revenue share, 14,190, if they're gonna continue that. 14,000, and then the mortgage tax, we just kept it at a straight 55,000, same as last year. We'll probably get more than that, but you know what? That's helping us. I mean, a little bit here. You know, we could increase that mortgage tax a little bit. Cause we've already received 36,000 here
Yeah.
and we're gonna go up. So if any of these little bits that you've increased here,
We can put it there.
we could put it there.
This couple thousand that you've put in here, there, we could put it there.
Mhm.
It doesn't particularly matter though. I mean, it's been such a small amount, it doesn't.
Right, it's not gonna
Like a
matter.
needle,
I
let's say.
mean, granted, we wouldn't have to go affect the fund balance
Yeah.
at all. We wouldn't have to go and change the taxable amount. So all our rates would stay the same as what you're looking at. We could just swap it over here, but make this say the
We'd have to recalculate.
57,000 or whatever it is. For that,
Yeah.
and that would work.
Do we added 2,500, didn't we?
Not exactly.
Not
Yeah, exactly. I have to go through and take.
I think whatever it was, you can put it here.
Yeah, we could affect that there.
Yeah.
So then all of our other rates would stay the same, our tax rate
Yeah.
or everything for anything that you guys have done here today. And take a look at the fund balance in the A599.
Mhm.
Last year it was 20,000, this year it's 10,000. So we're coming down,
The eighth one, yeah.
kind of just trying to go by your plan last year. You wanted to lower that gradually over a couple of years. But that's the figure that you can work with, you know, and
Yeah.
depending on what you want to do with the taxes, if you're comfortable with that $5.40 increase per 100,000. Or you might say, I don't want to increase it at all, or I might want to make that 15 or 20,000 again, or whatever you want to do with it. That's where you can affect it. That's where you can put it, and you're gonna be pretty safe at doing it.
Right.
You know, when this is all said and done,
Yeah.
what you really wanna see is the end result.
And it's important to have a fund balance, but it's
Absolutely.
also important not to overdo the fund balance. You're wasting people's money.
Well, we're not wasting it.
Yes, you are. You're taking it from them, holding it away from them.
Now, why is that a waste? Yeah,
Because you're increasing the taxes they have to pay.
but then just go use it eventually. It's not like we're throwing it away.
Not necessarily.
It's just a different way of looking at it. Yeah.
Well, besides that,
Again, you know,
nobody wants an assessment a special assessment for things.
No, and it would be good, because it would be good to have a fund balance policy where we say what we're saving the money for.
Yeah.
I'm missing a page here.
Turn page,
I think we're all missing a page here. Where?
we are,
If you go now into the highway, if you see that
Oh.
page number 11,
Oh, you can go on. to-
Highway was only 3 pages when I printed
yep,
it out.
and then 12, but I'm missing the very first page.
yeah, because you're already into,
I have the snow removal, so we're missing the very first page. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
But nothing really changed in that. The only thing that changed in that on the very first page is the increase in the salaries. And then the first page, you'd have things like road repair. That road repair stayed the same.
I've got it.
You'd have, you know, you probably have it.
I have it because I.
Yep, you've got it,
Yeah,
but I don't have it
I-
in this,
I
and
have
you've got it too, because you
enough.
printed it off your
I
computer.
had it from.
I just, for some reason, didn't
From the good
didn't
series.
have that in there.
So
Must
it's
have
not
done it
that
for
big.
something and that included it in my
It's got-
copies.
It starts
You
out
don't-
with,
DA 5110.1.
it starts out with it.
Just the wrong.
It's,
Medical.
page.
demo repairs.
Different.
Yeah, I don't even have a page number on there.
I don't mean that, I mean
Oh.
the position on the
Yeah,
page, like
yeah.
that council,
Yep.
community council.
Yep,
Well,
You guys
So
have
that
it.
should
this was
be
just the
after,
print off.
after this.
So if I'm looking at
I
that
kept
first
mine.
page, it kept the chips at
we kept the chips the
400,000.
same.
Yeah.
Kept the chips the
That-
same.
This.
Right?
So therefore, if we
So
kept the
after
chips
that,
expenditures
so
same, we
that's
kept
still
the chips
revenue.
revenue the same. And here the 400,000.
What's that?
Yeah,
Highway.
that's it.
Where's highway?
I
That's
didn't
what
see
she
any
put missing
changes,
first
but the
page.
only question I had was in benefits.
Yeah,
Uh, Workman's
You're talking
comp,
about,
workman's comp was way down.
This is highway.
There's
Yeah,
some-
you said the first.
yes,
one, but
because we went to a
Switch
different
carrier.
company, we switched carriers, yep.
Where's highway on your sheets?
That's what we're saying, this, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm missing that page, I
I'm
went
missing.
to, I'm
Yeah, but you
missing a
must
page.
have Other pages.
it's this highway shop at the very
removal
top of the
or-
page, the first
That-
word highway.
It says
No.
Town of Danby
Well-
tentative budget highway fund. Yeah, it is at the top.
So
of
I'm
the page.
missing it,
It's
I
on-
need to make a copy of one of the pages. and these two,
Yeah,
because they printed it
We're
from this
seeing
view.
that, but they're
Yeah.
not on the same, they're, in your printout.
Yeah, it's different, but
Right.
you, somewhere you've probably got something.
She
That's
said
the
that-
bad thing, Laura, it's the
There it is,
highway
right.
page, that's debt
That's
service.
the second page. That's the second page.
So
Yeah,
if
that's
you
the second
start
page.
at this page,
Yeah, you're missing.
Yeah,
So
this
you're
is-
missing the first
right
page,
in
you're
the
missing the
Right.
first page of the highway,
so
yeah.
if this is really 11 and this is 13.
That'll be
Sure, because
13,
like-
I'm missing
Mariah
page
just took
12.
paginated it
actually.
based on what was.
Laura,
there.
if you could send me that missing page, I'll just
Will
pull
do.
it in and resend it.
Yes, you have it,
Just the
Right,
first
if you
page of
use,
highway.
if
I don't
you,
think I have it. No,
You-
I go 11, 12.
you know what you
Want me to
have,
go make a copy of
Mariah, Mariah?
But-
You have it with what I sent you
The
electronically.
Oh,
So you
okay.
print that first page
I'll
out
find it.
for me
Yeah,
electronically.
I got
She
it.
has it.
I have
And you two have it and she has it because you're looking at your electronic copy.
Oh, got you.
Just a
Okay.
tiny little, thing when I
Paper
went,
copy.
paper copy, I'm missing.
No, I didn't print anything. I didn't.
For me to make a copy
But
of
no,
it.
that's all right. I can print it at home, but I guess we could make.
She was gonna
I
print a
think,
copy.
yeah, I think.
We're gonna make a copy, okay.
And the hospital medical insurance, that was, you were saying the percentage is higher percentage on that?
Yeah,
Is that?
Yeah, 18.
that's that 18% increase, yeah.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
So they take
and the
percent
services are so much.
plus the
better.
change of status. But actually not in the highway, there isn't any, right?
No.
Yeah, you only have to
If
wait.
they'll say-
instead of
In the
setting
debt
it.
service, I assume those are
That's
estimates, those are
Yeah,
exact.
Those are exact
Yeah,
figures.
so I thought.
Mhm.
Yeah, for equipment. In the reserve for unexpected equipment repairs,
Uh-huh.
Like that.
very next one, 99.10.
We don't.
99.10.
It's the page you have, it's the third page.
Say 13.
99.10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
99.9.
99.10.
Yeah, we
Right.
got, we started that because sometimes, say the rear end goes on a truck.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a
it makes,
huge-
it makes sense to have it, I just wondered why.
Yes.
Well, because we
We-
haven't been spending that.
We
much.
went down because we looked and we thought, okay, we had it for 2024, we had it for 2025, we've only spent 5,000 of it so
Okay.
far this year. So let's just go down to 5,000.
So it's historical reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and then it reflects the condition of our equipment. We got rid of the older stuff and then the newer stuff is less likely to have that kind of
And we'd already
not
asked
covered by warranty repair.
the public for 10,000 in the last 2 years. We didn't spend all of that, so we went down to the 5,000.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, everything else seems to.
Which we also did in a fairly
Oh,
modest.
it's in a reserve, so we still
I
have it.
didn't have any other questions.
We call it reserve for unexpected equipment repair.
It's not a dedicated
It's
reserve.
not really a
Not
dedicated,
designated,
it's
okay.
not really
Okay.
a designated
Okay.
one.
It's, yeah, that's the line item in the budget, so probably
Yeah.
shouldn't you use
So
reserve?
we should.
We should
Yeah,
say,
take off.
let's take off the word reserve. Let's say,
Allowance.
let's say
Unexpected.
allowance, let's say allowance for unexpected.
Yeah, that's probably better.
I like that better. Yes, much better. Allowance for unexpected equipment repairs. That way there's not that,
Right,
Word.
thank you.
yeah.
Don't do that word.
So our interest came up. So
Okay.
once again, the fund balance, we just use 15,000 instead of 30,000.
Mhm. That brings us to then.
And the water fund, in the water fund, they didn't ask for any more in their budget. They
And that
asked
was
for more in
because-
that budget
Well, that
because,
was for two reasons.
and the interest.
Yeah,
Purification.
the interest
valve.
and so we use more in the interest. And also there was some extra money in there that resulted in the fund balance increasing that the group didn't feel was necessary. We've already got a fund of $360,000 in the fund balance.
Is 2,000 enough for tank cleaning?
Which it was kind of, we're not planning on cleaning it for at least another year. So it's kind of in the budget. Is it even in the budget? Where is it in the budget?
It's under estimate 83,
The last, budget
4.42.
for employee benefits.
But I know there's different phases of
83,
tank cleaning.
83, where?
Board meeting?
40.42,
83.
second page, second side.
Other side.
8340,
Right, there's nothing in the budget. Well, wait, there is. something.
2,000.
2,000.
Why did we put that in? I don't remember.
Back in 23, we spent 5,000.
Yes, and the thing, we're thinking that we probably can get away with doing it every 5 years.
Which thing?
So we don't need to,
Tank cleaning.
maybe don't need it in there right now.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why they put it in, unless maybe they're trying to save up for it,
Well, we've
So-
got,
so that it will end
You
up.
know, if I
added to the
remember
fund
years
balance.
ago, there's sometimes different different,
Just shock it or
different levels of tank cleaning.
True.
And so that maybe they put that in there because they thought they're gonna have maybe something done with that and not the whole big submerged diver.
Well, I think they were just thinking, instead of having it all here in the budget 1 year,
Maybe.
you know, if we put $2,000 a year in, it'll be added to the fund balance and then we can appropriate it
Oh.
sometime to do the.
That's a
tank.
good idea too. And since this
With the
year
fund
they didn't
balance,
need to
yeah.
increase the
Appropriated fund
levy
balance.
at all, it might be a good
Yeah.
time to put it in.
Well, why don't we put there's $3,000 in the fund balance?
Well, because it isn't really an addition to the fund balance.
It's
That
kind of
you're
like they're
not
setting that
spending it.
aside, the same way that we're setting aside in the highway, unexpected equipment repair. They're like sort of, it looks like they're almost like setting that 2,000 aside like that. By budgeting it in,
So they did,
in an expense right now.
they already didn't appropriate the fund balance. So it's not like you can reduce the fund balance appropriation by $2,000. In order to put $2,000 in, you would have to add it to the budget, which is what they did.
Where's the fund balance?
There's no fund balance
On
on
this
this,
revenue line.
in
you
the
know,
revenue
they
line,
didn't,
Right, it's on the
they didn't,
revenue
they
line.
didn't use any of the fund balance.
any of the
Right.
fund
Towards
balance
the budget.
towards it.
So in order to build up the fund balance to have it for the tank thing, so we can appropriate it, you know, at year 5, they put $2,000 a year into it.
Right down there.
Hmm,
It's basically putting it in the savings account. You know.
well, then we should just.
They kind of took 1,000, well, wait a minute. Thinking.
I think that was the thinking. So there's not a.
Like, for instance, they went down in training by $500.
What's that?
They went down in their training by $500. They went down in their purification by $800.
Yes.
So they went down in some of these
Right.
other line
Oh,
items.
yeah,
And they're wanting to have the expenses be as much as the revenues,
yeah, gotcha.
as expenses as much as the revenues. And with still not increasing the property tax
Right.
for anybody.
Right.
So in the method they're using,
Yeah.
it's making sense to them with their method they're
Right.
using
Right,
by putting that 2,000 in
Yeah.
there.
all right.
Increase,
With the,
we did increase the repair budget because they're averaging about $5,000 every time they make a break. We've been getting one a year.
They've been spending way too much money.
Yeah, right.
So that's the budget, you guys.
Right.
That's the budget. What do you got? What's your thoughts on this? $4, let's say. So
Oh, we
anybody
need to-
who is in the fire district, we won't talk about the water right now, but within the fire district, they're gonna see a $3.80 increase for 100,000 of the assessment.
Wait a minute.
How do you feel about that? What do you think about that?
wait, what did you say?
They're gonna see $3.80.
Oh,
In the fire
I
district.
heard.
And also, let's look at
Sorry.
and let's look at the levy.
In the fire
Basis.
district.
Yep,
So the bottom line for me is that the levy increase is just under 2%.
is 1.589% increase in the levy for the town.
So since the property tax,
Well,
Page
actually, it's
did
1.974,
significantly
sorry, 1.974.
yeah, just under
Increased.
2%. So so the taxpayers should see a just under 2% more on their tax bill than the previous year. Which is less than the rate of inflation,
That's the one.
the rate of inflation.
Oh,
Well. So.
And well under the tax cap to boot.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. If we're talking about, even with the water district, but out of the A and the DA, they're gonna see a 1.08% increase in the tax rate. But then you gotta add, when you add the water district, it is what you said, just under 2%,
Mhm.
just under 2%.
we didn't talk about these words exactly, but is there something in there? I don't know where we are on the replacement of the computers. Cause there was a budget.
Well, we bought- most of our computers are fairly new since we.
Yeah,
bought
but
the
it's not,
business.
that's not what, there's this replacement schedule. which was in the recommended, and I don't know where we are in that, whether they're most or fairly new does not answer the question.
That's correct.
Mhm.
They were supposedly,
There was a schedule, you're right.
yeah,
Is it like 2 or 3 computers a year?
yeah, and all of our, that schedule that they gave us told us X number, and then we may have replaced, I don't think replaced everybody, everything.
Yeah, no, I gotta replace mine.
Yeah, yours is one of the problems.
No, not my town computer, but my other.
Oh, right.
My-
Yes, you do.
Because it's going off of support in a couple of weeks. and
Yes,
I gotta
it would be
upgrade.
wise if you did that.
That was a good question. Because I believe this 40,000, we're just budgeting for
Contract.
our contract.
Without any, there's no provision for additional expenses for equipment replacement.
35.
And I'm still concerned about the
27,
server thing. I know we
40,000.
can't, the one that Mariah was first that they told us
That
we
was-
can't do, but we have to
okay.
do, we still have to do something, and it is gonna cost us.
We ought to be able to add capacity to store stuff without having to add that $400 a month.
I got that part,
Mm.
but I'm saying we still are going to have to do something,
Yeah,
and it will
See
cost.
Mariah
us some
fast at
money.
work. Are
Right.
you looking to see that schedule? Oh, you're on mute.
You're
You're
muted.
muted. You're muted.
Mariah, you're muted.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I can look for that email. There's a lot of emails in there. I'm gonna have to look through.
Same time.
That's okay. We can address it the next time you meet,
Next
because there's gonna be, so far, what we'll do is I'll make the changes that you guys have come up with now thus far. It's not gonna change any of these rates or anything. And if she sees that there's another dollar amount that goes in there, we can either go to the fund balance or we can go back to that mortgage tax
Mhm.
and
Right.
put it, that's the one we had in our, and keep these rates the same. Unless you look at those rates and you decide, we don't like those, we want them to be higher, or we want them to be lower.
Okay.
And what you're really thinking of the end, as with the end result.
And the next meeting is a week from Monday.
See, I like
So
it that
it's-
we had this meeting like this, because we felt so comfortable with spending as much time as we wanted
Yeah.
to
Right.
go
Yeah.
through this, and you weren't under a half-hour time constraint.
Right.
No,
or whatever.
we're under a 2 hour.
But
time
now,
constraint.
but now,
One-
but now you've got it kind of hashed out.
We
So
do.
your hour
Yeah.
before the board meeting or half hour before the board meeting is
Right.
doable now with this.
Right,
We might be able to finish
In the next one.
in the next half hour. Yeah, the one before the board. meeting.
Right.
Oh, you mean the one before
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
submit?
The
Okay.
week from Monday.
Yeah, because we got the youth number, which we were waiting for. We now have the number for the fire department. So when I go and make these changes on this and you guys are comfortable with that tax rate and you decide that that's what you want to do,
Next Monday.
Next Monday.
you could have that meeting. I'm gonna be on Zoom.
Yeah.
So I'll be on Zoom
You're getting your shoulder done Thursday?
this Thursday. So I'll be on Zoom for that. And you might be able to wrap that right up, knowing
didn't-
what
I
you
didn't-
wanna do.
I didn't hear any concern that we need to call anybody in to talk more about anything particular.
I don't know what you just said.
No.
We have had people come in and talk about, if we're talking a major change to the planner or
Right.
the library or the park or anybody else, seniors or, I
I
don't.
mean, it would be nice to have people come in, they could do it later, but I mean, have, sort of an annual
Report.
I wanna know what the historian's done this year.
We're supposed to get a report from the historian
Yeah,
anyway.
and, no, I don't know. It's always nice to talk to the people from the library and,
Oh, I know, now I know what you're saying.
And it doesn't have to be, in this case, it doesn't have to be part of the budget.
Right.
It's a
it
year.
could
and
just be
report.
sort
We could
of a
do
report. Yeah.
on each agenda, there could be
Yeah.
one person
Okay.
comes in
Yeah.
and does.
I could
one-
say, you're
one-
doing what?
what
You're not
agency?
getting Any money.
Yeah,
One,
you split
one
it
group.
out. And
Under reports, it could be done, right?
Yeah.
It'd be nice if they were not just in writing, but somebody actually came and talked to them.
Yeah,
That's what you said.
yeah.
even if they were on Zoom.
Yes, correct.
Well, yeah,
No.
No, okay.
no, it'd be okay. What
No.
the people on Zoom hear.
They hear so much better.
If they're, if the person speaking is on Zoom as well.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, no, yeah, that's.
It-
Yep. On Zoom, it's hard to hear
I have-
people
yeah.
here sitting.
Yeah,
So I will do up
It's like
these
muddled.
sheets. And we'll get the other sheets that come out that are gonna have this fire
Okay.
department information on them. We'll get this, put that all together. And then you can have it for the next meeting. We'll have it for the next meeting.
Can you do me a big favor
Sure.
and put a date somewhere, like on the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
page?
all right.
I will, like
Thank you.
here,
Thank you.
Well,
these,
there was a date here.
these schedules I put on,
There was a.
on
date.
each tax rate, September 29th.
Yeah.
I'll put the date of the next meeting on the pad,
That's good.
okay?
Yeah.
So you'll know which one
Gracias.
for which.
Yeah. You can print it all over again?
Well, that's
then
right.
you'll
Today's
have it.
September 28th.
Thank you,
And
thank you, thank you.
You print it all over again? We're gonna send electronically?
I'll send them electronically.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll send them out all electronically now
Yeah.
from this point, if
Mhm.
that's
Yeah,
okay with
please,
everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, to all the people in the public in attendance at this meeting.
Yeah.
We're adjourning.
Cheerio.
Thanks for coming.
So Laura, I want to talk about your surgery. So have you had